What if the real superpower was already inside you? The Great Book of Melanin Research reveals 130 years of scientific studies conducted by governments around the world on you. This isn't fiction. It's real research on melanin uncovering its superconductive, photoconductive, cell-protective, and DNA shielding abilities. Yeah, they've known for over a century. Why don't you? Order now and get the exclusive Police Stop Law Package free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notice and Card, Police Stop Flashcards Volume 1 and 2, the Public Official Bonds Book. Learn how to hold them personally accountable. This is power in your hands, biological and legal. They studied you. Now you study them. Click the link. Get the truth. Get protected. The Great Book of Melanin Research. It's time you knew what they know.
Too many people walk through life carrying fear, not because they've done something wrong, but because no one ever told them they have rights. When you don't know the law, even ordinary life can feel like a risk. That's why we build Know Your Rights Foundation, a place where the law becomes clear, simple, and yours. Knowledge is your shield. The law is your defense. Start learning today at kyrf.org.
Freedom isn't free, but it's something we can all carry with us every day. The Constitutional Rights Card is your pocket-sized reminder of the rights that protect you. It's not just a card, it's a shield against injustice. Knowing your rights is the first step in defending them. When you're armed with knowledge, you empower yourself and those around you. Imagine walking into any situation with confidence, knowing exactly what you're entitled to. This card is a tool for awareness, a way to stand firm in the face of adversity. Don't let ignorance be your downfall. Carry the Constitution and let it guide you in defending your rights. Order yours today at kyrf.org and take the first step toward true empowerment.
There we go. I think I was muted for a little bit, but there we go. I said, what's cracking, people? Let me say that again on this gloomy ass Saturn's Day. It is hella rainy in Los Angeles. Something that usually doesn't happen. You heard the song. You heard Raphael Sadiq. It never rains in Southern California. That's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit because it is pouring in California right now, messing up my damn plans. Had some plans, messing up my damn plans. But I guess the plants need some water. I guess. So I guess we'll deal with the rain for that. But what's up, everybody? What's up, Melanated Brown, Musical Tiger, Bro L Wise, Mac? Excuse me. What says Mac Films? Neon Black. Oops. I'm losing my thing here. Lovely Me Bay. Oops. Man, I keep losing my damn live stream. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right. Lester Ingram says, what's that? Drake Keith? Or Drake? What is that? Again, my eyes is off. My eyes is off today. Hold on. That Dro Keith? You guys in these names. Hold on, let me pull the computer closer. The computer's quiet. What up, Christopher Perkins? Visualize you. Conceptual Elixirs. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. You say finally caught alive. Take off your shoes. Please, everybody, take off your shoes. You know the rules. Don't let me start busting rhymes up in here, but the rules, you know, just if you want to kick back, please make sure you take off your shoes. That means hit the like button as you enter the dojo. Don't disrespect the dojo. I don't allow shoes in my house, as none of you should. Keep all the gunk and grime and dirty, nasty shit out of your house. That means leave the shoes at the door. So appreciate you. What up, Hodges? Appreciate you, brother. What's going on? Adwo L says, Chris Tiger Ellis. Oops. There we go. Let me get the live stream going. There we go. Chris Tiger Ellis. Dwayne Hicks. What's cracking? I got you, melanated brown. Cheese us. What's happening? Who is that? What does that say? The oddest what? The oddest TV boy. Y'all in these names. But what's cracking? Can't wait to drop. Says some of the stymie money on your Cash App. Appreciate you with the chicken shawarma donations. Appreciate them shawarma donations, boy. So do the Mediterranean spot. I promise you. But I got you, Chaz McFly. It's the Godzilla. Amir Shaheed, what's cracking? What up, Roderick Roche? Oh, as you guys can see, I guess I'm back in the they put me back in the monetary program. I'm back in the partnership program. We'll see how long. I don't know. It could be it could be like just till after this live stream. Who knows? I'll be saying a whole lot of stuff. But for right now, they got me back into the partnership program, meaning you guys can leave super chats as you used to do. But look here, just remember, they take money out of the super chat. So the Cash App, if you want to leave me the Cash App where they don't take the money, I would still love the Cash Apps, but I'd love anything you're willing to give. Appreciate you, everybody. Ellison Gray, what's happening? What is this name right here? Oh, what is that? Macadocious Emperor. What is that? Macadocious the Emperor. Y'all in these names are hilarious. Y'all be killing me with the names. Appreciate you, Christopher Perkins. All right, everybody, we got a few things. Hold up real quick. I got something to go over because a lot of people been throwing emojis, been throwing your handshake emojis in the live streams or in the comments talking about, come on, Kev. You got to do better than that, kid. Like, what? Again, I went over this last week and showed you on my phone where it wasn't like that. But I took a snapshot of my phone because some people probably couldn't see it. So let me show you. Because it's not on the iPhone, as far as I know. It's not on the iPhone. But look, do y'all see that? Do y'all see that right there? There is no black hand-to-hand shake on the iPhone emojis. Can you see that? Says they see you. He said they see you making cheese and said they want some. Is that what it is? Well, shit, don't give them the cheese. You can keep Cash Apping me. I still take the Cash Apps. Appreciate everything you want to do though. Cash App is Real Nagas, the number 9. But so here you go. You see, there is no handshake. And if you press on this one right here, nothing. That's the only thing that comes up. There's no other choices that comes up on the handshake. Yo, Spread well. Appreciate you. Thank you for the Cash App, brother. Everybody hitting the Cash App. Or shoot, that's not the Cash App. See, I'm saying Cash App for so long. It's the Super Chat. Appreciate you for the Super Chat, Spread well. So that's the one right there. And then just to show you the close up, there is no black to black handshake in the iPhone, people. So maybe they updated your phones. You may have on the Android phones, or I have an older iPhone, but that doesn't matter because usually the emojis updates are the same. Then you don't get new emojis. The software update is the same on the phones. So I would have that emoji if it was a software update. So just showing y'all they didn't have it. And the fact that they do have it, that's a new thing. They just did that. I talked about this again a few years ago in one of the documentaries I did. So just saying. Yeah, they saw it was a little blatant that they weren't putting the black handshake emoji in. So I guess they figured they had to fix it, but they didn't fix it in all the phones. So they still with the bullshit. But anybody who ordered a package or anything, your package is out. So appreciate you guys. And we still do have the Great Book of Melanin Research package going right here. Bam, if you ordered the Great Book of Melanin Research, the hard copy, bam. The hard copy, bam, right here. You get the whole police stop law package for free. For free. All right. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, the Public Official Bonds book, the Constitutional Rights cards and Qualified Immunity cards, and the Police Stop flashcards, volume 1 and 2. So right there. So again, nobody else is going to hook you up like that. This whole package, again, this is what you're paying for, but you get all this for free. This is actually worth more than the book. So you're getting twice the value, within the package for one price. So appreciate you guys for supporting, but this is the best way to support if you want to support the hard copy. Also, we do have the digital copies for sale at realnagas.com. So make sure that's the way you support. Appreciate you right down at the bottom. You can see it. And also the other way you support, make sure you go hook up. Bam. You see it right there. The Rapstrology t-shirts is off the chain. People are loving the t-shirts, and thank everybody for your compliments on the t-shirts, telling me how dope they are. Appreciate that. And all of the compliments you guys are getting on the t-shirts, I appreciate that too. Letting me know. So we're going to keep it going. Just been doing a whole lot of stuff right now. Haven't been able to get all of the rappers together for volume 3, but volume 3 will be coming out. But this is volume 1 right here with Q-Tip, Biggie, and Pac. Had to get Biggie and Pac on 1. I wish I could have got Slick Rick on 1, but Slick Rick is here on 2. You see, Slick Rick is on 2, along with RZA, Method Man, Redman, and all the gods. We had to get Melly Mel on here. Melly Mel is one of the ancient gods of rap. And then we had to get the goddesses, Lauryn Hill and Left Eye, and also MC Light. So appreciate you guys for your support. And this is what it looks like. Bam. When you're flossing it. We also have them in the hoodies. We get the dope hoodies right here. Ladies, bam. We got you, ladies. So make sure you go out and support. That's the way you support right there. Again, realnagas.com or rapstrology.com if you just want to go straight to the Rapstrology stuff. But realnagas.com, I have so much t-shirts. I have the FAFO t-shirts, the Dragon Moore t-shirts, the Phoenix Moore t-shirts, basically hundreds of designs. So go there. That's the way to support. Appreciate you guys if you do. And even if you don't. So, man, let's get into it, everybody. There's been a lot of things going on this week. You say it's gloomy as hell in New York too. So you in Queensbury, New York. Man, it is. It is absolutely. In Los Angeles, because it doesn't rain. First of all, people act like they melt in the rain. They just go out and get a little water on. They be tripping and shit like niggas water. But also people can't drive. If you live in places where it doesn't rain a lot and then it does rain, watch your ass on the road. I'm telling you right now, watch your ass on the road, because people drive extra slow. They drive because they don't know how to drive at regular speed in the rain. And so I appreciate that, though. If you don't know how to drive in the rain, you should drive extra slow. But then they don't understand, like, the first part of the rain. So a lot of times when it first, like, drizzles and rain or whatever, that's actually the worst part, where it just gets a little rain on the road where it's really slick and you can't really see it. So people in California don't know how to drive, so they be sliding. The motherfuckers be dipping and sliding around the whole damn thing and shit. I'd be like, God damn. So California or Los Angeles is not too keen on the rain, but we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it because, like you said, we had to have some balance around here. What do you say? You said I thought it was a flexing, not flossing. You thought it was flexing? Oh, okay. What do you say? You gonna have what? Sexy red on the next shirt. Hey, what? Are you insane? You clowning today, huh, Amir Shaheed? What the hell? Disgusting red? I don't even know how the hell she's an artist. She can't rap and she ugly as hell. No offense. Just saying. She can't rap and she ugly as hell. How the hell? Oh yeah, she's allegedly a CIA op. Allegedly. Supposedly. But Christopher Ellis, appreciate you. He says you have to select a hand color with the hands, left and right, then it pairs with the handshakes. On the bottom right of the emoji. I did that. I did that. It don't come up. I'm telling you, somebody already told me that. It don't do that. Also, somebody else already told me that. So I don't know what the hell y'all got. But why can't you just push on the white hands and all of the other color options come up like you do on all of the other stuff? Why does the black hand have to be paired with the goddamn robot hand? So do y'all see the psychology in the shit? The white hands are just white hands shaking. Black hands, no. You got to go through goddamn Mission Impossible to get another black hand. Even if you can do that, because again, I still can't do that on my phone. So I don't know what the hell y'all got, but I ain't trying to go through Mission Impossible just to get another black hand to show that black people do cooperate and get along. That's some crazy shit. He says gotta put salt and pepper and Paris on the next one. Do I though? Do I? Salt and pepper. You're right. Let me tell you this. Salt and pepper. You damn right. However, that's group. Right now, I'm doing individual shirts. Eventually, I'll have the group. I'll do a group astrology shirt, and it'll choose the group based on when their first album was released. So that'll be their astrology date, the date their album was released. That's what I'm gonna go by. So it's coming. Don't worry. We still got the whole series coming. All right. So let's get it going, everybody. So, man. So the Epstein files. Look at how the universe works, man. I'm telling you, we're in a new cycle since the conjunction. I told you can't hide things anymore. We're in the information age. You can't hide all of it is going to come to the light, especially now in this time. All of the hidden things. This is why you see the Kazarians, all of the stuff that they've done. It's all coming to the surface. How they've been controlling things with evil, allegedly, throughout the history, hundreds of years of the world. For the past, I would say 200 to 300 years, Kazarians have been the hidden hand behind everything. But all of it is coming to the surface, especially now in social media times where you can't hide anything and the information is spread in 2 seconds. Once some shit comes out about you, it's spread in 2 seconds and you can never pull it back. So their time is done. They think they're trying to smash with this media blitz. It's all done. So when they were trying to hide the Epstein files, and they've probably gotten rid of a bunch of them. And then Trump comes out and says, "Oh, I'm going to release the Epstein files and blah, blah, blah." And then he comes out, "Oh, I'm probably in those files, so maybe I should just not release them." and call it a hoax. It's a big hoax. Everybody's a hoax. It's a Democratic hoax. Why are you falling for the bullshit? So, but then, like I said, the universe, we're in a different era. We're in a different time. We're in a different energy where everything that you've done, we're in the apocalypse. What's the time? In the Revelations? The apocalypse? We're in that time. The apocalypse means the uncovering, the unveiling, meaning you can't, whatever is hidden will come to the light, will come to truth. So they tried to hide the Epstein files, but some other cats went and hacked Ehud Barak's, which is the former prime minister of Israel. So he's the one I was talking about last week in the story from last week, where that girl Gilfrey, what's her name? Something Gilfrey, where she left basically in her book said that she was abused by an Israeli prime minister. She didn't mention the name, but basically it came out allegedly that it was the Barak dude. And so some people went and hacked his email. Some people went and hacked Barak's email. Not Barack Obama, the dude, the Barak, the Kazarian Barak. And goddamn, he says Trump and Epstein got identical his and hers tramp stamps. Man, these files are crazy. They say a lot though. There's a whole lot going on in here, and I'm not the file, but the emails. He says, "Yeah, the great revealing. Yep, everything shall come to light in the apocalypse, and all. And again, it's just the uncovering, the unveiling." Says, let's be mindful that we're in Mercury retrograde right now. Keep your head on the swivel. Yep. Now, Mercury retrograde was good for me. I was born during a Mercury retrograde. So if you were born during a Mercury retrograde, it's actually a good thing for you. But for the other people, not so much. So the Epstein files, they come out. Hey, what'd you say? He says, damn, feed them to the lions. They about to do that. So there is some speculation that Trump might have pissed off the Kazarians. So they may have been the ones who did the releasing of the emails, because Trump is not going along with the war in Iran. He's not letting them take over the Gaza Strip. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. Trump is not fully letting the Kazarians do. So they like, look, nigga, we told you we got your balls in a piranha tank. You forgot about that? You forgot about the piranha tank, Trump? Do we need to send this nigga a selfie? Send him a selfie of you with his balls in the tank. He don't believe. About to send you a selfie with my first aid, clowning you with your balls in the like, wait a minute. So because of that, all of this stuff is coming out about Trump. The MAGA, what is it? The MAGA and the FAGA. So it's MAGA, really the people who are about make America great again, the America First people. They're the true people, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson and all them. That's MAGA, make America great again, or America First. They're in a rift, a civil war with the FAGA. These are the ball garglers, the Kazarian ball garglers of the Republican faction. And so these are the people who follow Trump no matter what. They're the cultists. Kazarians and Trump, no matter what. So there's a big rift between the two. And then this comes out, and this is really killing the game right now. So let's see what happened with your boy Trump. Oops. Hold on. Hold on. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, hold on. Here we go. Are you serious right now? Dude, this thing is tripping. It's playing the video before I want to play it, but here we go. What are you doing? All right, here we go. Oops. And there it is. All right, here we go.
Yo, today the House just dropped thousands more documents from the Epstein estate as part of their congressional probe. And let me tell you, it is spicy. Let me just give.
So there's two things going on right now. There's the Epstein files and there's the Epstein emails that was hacked that was the Ehud Barak's emails that was hacked. So you got two different things going on, information coming out from two different ways. This is the Epstein files right here. Hold on, let me see. All right. So we'll get to the Epstein files in a second. Hold on. We'll get to the Epstein files in a second. We want to do the Epstein emails first. Hold on. So these are the Epstein emails. Here we go.
Here we go. Another conspiracy theory that is now confirmed a conspiracy fact. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just some financier who was into young women. No, he was, in fact, an Israeli asset, and we now have the documents to prove it. From Dropsite News, shout out to them for breaking this. They say that an Israeli spy stayed for weeks at a time with Jeffrey Epstein in Manhattan. Leaked emails show Epstein working on a wire transfer to Ehud Barak's top aide, Yoni Korn, who regularly stayed at his apartment. Quote, an Israeli military intelligence officer, Yoni Korn, stayed at Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan apartment on at least 3 occasions, including once in February of 2013 while working as a senior aide to then Israeli Minister of Defense, Ehud Barak. Wow. So what was Korn allegedly doing while he was staying at Epstein's apartment? Well, according to leaked emails, the three were engaged in some mysterious wire transfers. You can see here a message.
Transcendental, appreciate you. He said born April 73. That was retrograde. I didn't say what year I was born. Y'all know I've never said what year I was born. Don't be guessing, trying to guess my age. I didn't tell y'all how old I was. Got to do the research, bruh. Just saying.
From Barak to Epstein with Korn's bank account information. Dropsite reports that, quote, Korn was a covert fixer in Washington who enjoyed special access to senior national security figures, including Leon Panetta and his senior advisor, Jeremy Bash. Bash just so happens to be the ex-husband of CNN anchor Dana Bash. So if you are wondering why none of this information ever makes it onto primetime coverage in mainstream media, well, it's maybe because everyone involved is a part of the same club. Continuing on, quote, after Barak's retirement from government, Korn continued to serve as an informal intermediary between the American and Israeli intelligence communities, with Barak acting as his handler. Email records show Barak using Korn as an intermediary to exchange.
Hold on, let me slow it down. It's a little too fast. I forget. I listen to things at 2.5 speed. This may be a little fast for some people, so let me slow it back up a little bit. About right there. All right.
Information with CNN anchor Dana, who enjoyed special access to senior national security figures, including Leon Panetta and his senior advisor, Jeremy Bash. Bash just so happens to be the ex-husband of CNN anchor Dana Bash. So if you are wondering why none of this information ever makes it onto primetime coverage in mainstream media, well, it's maybe because everyone involved is a part of the same club. Continuing on, quote, after Barak's retirement from government, Korn continued to serve as an informal intermediary between the American and Israeli intelligence communities, with Barak acting as his handler. Email records show Barak using Korn as an intermediary to exchange information with Ayman, the Israeli military intelligence directorate. Korn was also active in Epstein and Barak's effort to source cybersecurity startups from the technology research units of Ayman, demonstrating how enmeshed in Israeli spy networks he remained. So the big question to those who still think that this is some kind of crazy conspiracy theory, answer this for us, why don't you? Why was an Israeli intelligence officer using Epstein's Manhattan apartment basically like a safe house? And not only that, Epstein himself was arranging money transfers, lodging, meetings between Israeli and U.S. officials and other foreign officials. Okay, take a look at this. Another set of leaked emails show that Barak arranged a meeting at Epstein's New York mansion for a, quote, overview of the coming days about helping broker a security cooperation between the governments of Israel and Mongolia. Why would the prep for those meetings be taking place at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion? Well, Dropsite reports, quote, in the shadows of Israel's cyber boom was Jeffrey Epstein, who exploited his network of political and financial elites to help Barak and ultimately the Israeli government itself to increase the penetration of Israel's spy tech firms into foreign countries, in this case, Mongolia. Epstein actively supported the Israeli intelligence industry via venture capital investments and contributions to charitable organizations, non-governmental entities that laid the foundation for official Israeli security deal-making. But wait, there's more. Jeffrey Epstein and the Mossad. How the sex trafficker helped Israel build a back channel to Russia amid Syrian civil war. Hacked emails show how Jeffrey Epstein and former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak tried to engineer a Russian-led solution to remove Bashar al-Assad. Quote, together, Barak and Epstein sought to pressure the Obama administration to either intervene directly in the Syrian war or make concessions to the Kremlin in exchange for Assad's graceful exit. In their exchanges, Epstein expressed his frustration at the Obama administration's failure to contain Tehran as the two men searched for opportunities to promote U.S. strikes on Iran. Which country was it that wanted us to bomb Iran again? Anyway, here's that email from Barak to Epstein expressing his gratitude, saying thanks for setting up this whole thing together. So at this point, the question isn't whether Epstein was helping former Israeli PM Ehud Barak. We know he was through all of these emails. The bigger question is, was he doing it as an American citizen on behalf of American interests or as a proxy, an auxiliary for a foreign government?
So, oh, actually, let me. This is actually
and
let me
today,
play this part.
This is good timing. Today, the House committee just released thousands of more documents from the Epstein estate as part of a congressional probe. And in one of these emails, it looks like Jeffrey Epstein and a journalist named Michael Wolff was basically plotting to try to blackmail Trump during his 2016 campaign. From Wolff.
Oh, so this is why Trump didn't want the emails to come out, because Epstein, first off, you're going to see in a lot of these, we're going to go over some of the emails. In the emails, allegedly, Trump was hanging with these cats when they were doing this stuff, but he didn't do anything. They can't find any evidence of him doing anything. Like, even none of the women said that he did anything, but he knew what they were doing because he was around. And so one of the emails were like, we're about to say, where they were like, yo, we can just say, if he tries to deny that he was ever on the island or on the plane, we got his ass. So they were gonna try to blackmail him. So this is why Trump didn't want that shit coming out.
To Epstein, quote, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Blackmail or not, it's clear over the course of the past 8 or 9 months Trump has been president that he doesn't want to be any part of this story, whether it be the sex trafficking or the covert intelligence ops, none of it. So we should naturally all be asking, what does Trump know and what is he going to do about potentially one of the biggest foreign spy operations in U.S. history?
Trump did not receive or send any of the messages. They largely predate his time as president, and he has not been accused of any criminal wrongdoing in connection with Epstein or Maxwell.
So it's basically showing that Epstein was trying to blackmail Trump, and then Epstein ends up allegedly taken out while Trump is president. Is that a coincidence? Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. YouTube, Epstein killed himself. So is that a coincidence that he's trying to blackmail Trump, and then during the presidency, he somehow just is taking out the game? Huh? What'd you say? Guilty by associations? That's what it was, because they're trying to say that a lot of other people who knew, like Bill Gates, they're trying to say, well, Bill Gates, you had connections with Epstein after he was convicted of assault charges, charges, and so they're vilifying them for that. But now we got Trump emails, and they were saying that Trump was basically around when they were doing all this stuff. Not that he did it, but he was around. He says, ship to their own private island away from the rest. Ship them to a private island away from the rest of us. It sounds like blackmail him because he knew stuff, which is different from because he was with chicks. Yeah, they're trying to blackmail him because he knew stuff. Yeah, that's moving. Yeah, that's moving the goalpost. But they were going to try to implicate him like he was doing stuff. That's the thing. They knew he wasn't doing anything, but because of his association, perception would be that he was doing stuff. And the fact that he always around with young girls and he makes comments about young girls all the time. He made comments about his daughter. If his daughter was older, or no, if his daughter wasn't his daughter, he would be with his daughter. Like, he said that with her standing right there. Like, fucking crazy. So this is what I'm saying. So he that perception of him is out there. So if they try to blackmail him, it'd be easy for everyone to believe that that was true. No one would have a hard time jumping to the conclusion that Trump was one of these people. But he actually wasn't. That's the funny part. The real funny part of this is he looks like he's a person who would do this type of stuff, but he actually wasn't. They haven't found anything on him that says that he did any of this stuff, only that he was there, which is crazy. But check it out.
The White House is now responding and saying that, and I'm quoting now from the White House, the Democrats selectively leaked emails to the liberal media to create a fake narrative to smear President Trump, end quote.
Oh, okay. It's a Democrat hoax. Got it. You know, I'm often asked about the erosion of trust in government and in media, in institutions, and how we can get people to trust them again. Well, it's this. It's opportunities like this. It's accountability. It's putting people behind bars who commit heinous acts against minors and people who commit high treason against the United States of America. That is how we save this country. A silver lining here is that the unprecedented government shutdown is hopefully coming to an end in a couple of days, and the House will be swearing in.
Yeah, I saw that part of the email too, but they were saying that was more that he was joking. It was more of a joke. That was him. That was Epstein joking.
A new member.
Now,
and
do we know? Don't know.
The final signature needed to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. My name is James Lee. This is the 5149 Show. Let me know what you think about all of.
All right, so then here we go. We got to show you the other part that's actually in the emails. We got to go over the emails because it's some real stuff in there. Hold on. Oops. Hold on. Where'd it go? All right, here we go. So real quick.
Yo, today the House just dropped thousands more documents from the Epstein estate as part of their congressional probe. And let me tell you, it is spicy. Let me just give you the highlights real quick. First off, Epstein alleged that Hillary Clinton had an affair with former White House counsel Vince Foster. Now, Foster committed suicide back in 1993. Also, interestingly, Epstein, in an email to the Duke, claimed that Clinton had never been to his island. He did send an email to Peter Thiel in 2014 saying, quote, "That was fun. See you in 3 weeks." I wonder what that was all about. And then there were a bunch of emails and documents that DropSite News analyzed that basically proved that Epstein was indeed working on behalf of Israel as a possible intelligence asset. Then there are the Trump-Epstein bombshells. This is Epstein to Kathy Remler, who was Obama's chief counsel, and he says, quote, "You see, I know how dirty Donald is." This one to Thomas Landon.
See, man. They had all of this stuff going behind the scenes. Don don't want none of this stuff coming out.
The New York Times, quote, "Would you like a photo of Donald and the girls in bikinis in my kitchen?" This is an unnamed.
Would you like a photo of Don and the girls in bikinis in my kitchen? Yo. Now, that doesn't mean that they were the underage girls. So, but you can see how Trump doesn't want that to get out because it could be easily misconstrued that they were underage. So he's like, I don't want none of this shit out.
Redacted individual writing to Jeffrey Epstein, quote, "I'm at the door, but I will wait for my time. I don't want to come in early to find Trump in your house." This Times, quote, "Would you like a photo of Donald and the girls in bikinis in my kitchen?" This is an unnamed redacted individual writing to Jeffrey Epstein, quote, "I'm at the door, but I will wait for my time. I don't want to come in early to find Trump in your house." This one is from another Times reporter named Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein, where he basically tries to convince Epstein.
I'll wait for my time, but I don't want to come in to find Trump in your house. Yo, Broderick Enoch, appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the cash app. Oops. Thank you for the cash app, brother. And Conceptual Elixirs, I got your cash app too, brother. Thank you, man. So basically, Trump was doing whatever Trump was doing, he was doing stuff. But not necessarily with the underage girls. Trump probably liked them like 18, 19, which is legal, so you couldn't really say anything. So Trump was riding away. He was riding that line. Like he was just right on the edge, right on the line, probably like him 18, 19. So here we go.
Epstein to turn on Trump. He says, quote, I think you should let him hang himself. Interesting word choice there. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating debt. Here's another attempt, quote, there is an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then this one is from another Times reporter named Michael Wolff to Jeffrey Epstein, where he basically tries to convince Epstein to turn on Trump. He says, quote, I think you should let him hang himself. Interesting word choice there. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating debt. Here's another.
See? They was, man, this boy was the blackmail. They had him on the hook. Trump is cooked.
Another attempt, quote, there is an opportunity to come forward this week and talk about Trump in such a way that could garner you great sympathy and help him finish him. Interested?
Honestly, this is kind of a disturbing insight to how the media works. They're basically willing to let the pedo go so they can politically take down Trump.
But interestingly, in this email from Ghislaine Maxwell to Jeffrey Epstein back in 2011, she says, quote, I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Virginia, she spent hours at my house with him, and he has never once been mentioned, which kind of implies that Trump is innocent.
So he didn't do anything, but it looks like he did a whole lot of shit. So he's like, I don't want my name out there with none of it. Plus, he knows all the other people who were doing all of the stuff, who was doing all the stuff. So he's like, and some of those people are the people in his cabinet, allegedly. So he's like, let me not, we're going to move her. It's a hoax. It's a hoax, everybody. It's a hoax. Trump, boy, goddamn, man.
But of course, that didn't stop Trump from going on a mad tweet storm today in which he wrote that the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try to
see? It's a hoax. It's a hoax, everybody. It's a hoax.
Spent hours at my house with him, and he has never once been mentioned, which kind of implies that Trump is innocent. But of course, that didn't stop Trump from going on a mad tweet storm today in which he wrote that the Democrats are using the Jeffrey Epstein hoax to try to deflect from their massive failures, in particular, the most recent one, the shutdown.
Here we go. Another conspiracy.
So, bam. And there's a whole lot of other stuff in the emails. If you go, you go looking at like somebody just put up, there was a joke about him throat goating Bill Clinton, but that was more of a joke. That was supposed to be a joke. It says Bill Clinton looking for Dora the Explorer. Oh, important. I put you up on that one. It says just like for these pageants, he was heading. Yeah, those with the what's her name? Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife. Yes, and she was 17 when she won Donald Trump's. Now we don't know if Donald Trump had anything to do with that. We're not saying that. However, we know that it. Well, we don't know, but it appears that he likes him kind of young. But so goddamn, man. And then the files also show that he had some involvement in the Ivory Coast. And so with basically the diamonds, so it showed that how he was basically setting up the Ivory Coast to be basically robbed, basically hijacked by the Kazarians, because Israel, they have no diamonds, they have no diamond mines. However, 10% of their exports are diamonds. So how is that? If you don't own any diamond mines, you have no diamond mines in Khazaria, New Khazaria. Old Khazaria is Ukraine, but you have no new diamond mines, or no diamond mines in Khazaria, New Khazaria. How are you able to have 10% of your exports be diamonds? Because they're behind that whole De Beer shit. Hold on. What'd you say? Did an etymology search on Epstein. It's one of the oldest Ashkenazi Jewish family names. Yeah. Yeah. Kazarian. Ashkenazi Jews are the Khazars. Just so we're clear. They're the Khazars from Khazaria. And even Alex Jones. So Alex Jones has bent the knee. Well, he hasn't bent the knee. He's saying he's not bending the knee. I couldn't find the hold on. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oops. Let me see if I can find it. So, because I want you to see, because Alex Jones is trying to walk the line and ball gargle, but act like he's not ball gargling for Israel. So hold on, let me see. Where is the video? Let me see if I can. Man, where is the video? Alex Jones. Man, I can't find it. But if you go to Stu Peters' channel on Rumble, it was a few days ago. He had him and Alex Jones kind of went back and forth on each other's platforms, and so they did each other's show. So when he was doing Alex Jones' show, he was just dropping all of this knowledge about how Israel or Khazaria is how they've been behind basically all the fuckery in the world, most of it, at least 90% of it, for the last 100 years or so, at least. And he was just like, no, I don't believe that. I'm like, dude, first of all, remember, Alex Jones is the foremost person supposedly on conspiracy theories, but all of a sudden, you don't believe that Khazaria is running everything? He would be the first person to know that. As big as a conspiracy theory as he is, he would be the first person to know that Khazaria is running everything. But he was like, nah, I don't really, I'm going to say that it's, they do have a little more influence in America than you would hope a government would have. But I'm just going to say that they're not really, I don't think they're running America. They don't run the world. Like, dude, stop it. We see what this is, Alex Jones. Alex Jones don't want them to come after him. He saw, hey, look, everybody, since they saw Charlie Kirk, I'm not laughing at Charlie Kirk either. I'm laughing at how everybody saw that. And then they all Michael Jackson. They moonwalking the hell. They are not saying anything about the Kazarians. They saw Charlie Kirk get his ass taken out. They were like, Israel's great. Like, Israel's the shit. What you talking about, motherfucker? I fucks with Israel, nigga. That's my motherfucker. Ain't nigga Israel. Like, wait a minute. Nigga, I get it. You don't want to get that bullet up your ass. Okay. So he's ball gargling because either it's out of fear, which I think that's a good chance that it's out of fear. But the fact that his audience, he's doing that and he's trying to act like there's no major that the Kazarians aren't running everything, that all of the stuff that we know about them in history is not real. Like, come on, bro. Would you say Trescendendo? This is Jones is trying not to cross Trump, but criticize New Khazaria at the same time. Yeah, he's trying to walk. He's trying to crip walk. He's trying to crip walk on the tightrope right now. Alex Jones is like, him and Megyn Kelly and all them damn the FAGA people. The faggots. I mean, excuse me. They all crip walking. They all crip walking on the tightrope right now. And the funny thing is, with the Kazarians not running everything, you could see how, I've talked about this before, how we're in two wars, or America is two proxy wars, so to speak. Basically, with now that they say that war is over, but they haven't stopped bombing Hamas or Gaza. They haven't stopped bombing Gaza, so that war is technically not over, but they say it's over. But the war in Gaza, the slaughtering in Gaza and Ukraine, and it's crazy because when you see how the Kazarians treat what they deem as their enemies. And I showed you last week how the lady got arrested for exposing how they grape people in the Kazarian jails. Excuse me, the Kazarian prisons. And she's the one that got thrown in jail. The guys who did the graping, they still out of jail. They were in court. They were getting cheers from the people in the courtroom. They were getting cheers and patted on the back and everything. Well, that lady, she ran away. She ran. Basically, she knew they was going to try to take her out, so she tried to kill herself and it didn't succeed. And so they just found her on the beach, and then now they went and arrested her when they found her on the beach, basically passed out trying to kill herself. Now she's in jail. But the Kazarians, that's how they hold grudges. And so, and the reason for the war in Ukraine, a lot of people don't even see, like, why are we fighting this war in Ukraine? But basically, most wars that we have started in the past 20, 30 years have been for New Khazaria. So obviously, this falls right in the same thing. Why are we fighting a war? Or not we, but why is America fighting a war for Ukraine? That's because it's their old empire. It's old Khazaria. They know this. The Khazarians know their history. And they tried to hide it from the rest of the world, but they know their history. They know they were in a couple of wars with the Moors. This is why they have animosity towards the Muslims today, because when they were Khazaria, the ancient Khazaria, let me see if I can find this. Hold on. Let me see. So there's a video about their conversion. Oh, here it is. Hold on. So here it is. Hold on a second. Let me show you how the Khazars converted to Judaism.
Oh, you've got my attention. Turkic nomads that converted to...
Hold on. Let me turn it down a little bit.
Judaism? What you talking about? Turkic nomads of the steppes. Okay, cool. You've got my attention. Turkic nomads that converted to Judaism? What you talking about, Luce? Our story begins in the Pontic steppes of the early 600s. The supermassive and legendary empire, the Göktürk Cognate, has split into two after a long civil war, leaving the western half to collapse under the pressure of the Sui dynasty and later the conquest of the Tang dynasty. This leaves nothing but a power vacuum for the people of these harsh steppelands. Here, two mighty confederations of tribes fight for supremacy. The Bulgars, now united under Kubrat Khan and the old Great Bulgaria, are under constant pressure from the fierce tribes of the Khazars. Following Kubrat's death, the Khazars take control of the Pontic steppe, subjugating the Bulgar peoples and adopting their language as a lingua franca. Kubrat's son Aspura would flee to the south, where he would found the first Bulgarian empire in the Balkans, while his brother would travel north to the Volga River, establishing the Volga Bulgars. From this, the Khazars would form into a cognate, which is a union of lesser khanates. But a new and even more powerful threat would arise in the following decade. The first ever Islamic caliphate, the Rashidun Caliphate, was attempting to expand into the Caucasus. In 652, a large Islamic army under Abd ar-Rahman ibn Rabia advanced towards the Khazar capital, Balanzar. A huge battle took place, both brave armies motivated by intense fervor. Catapults and cavalry were utilized by both sides, but the Khazars under Korpin Tarkhan.
See this? They said the first Arab Khazar war, 642. They weren't Arabs, they were Moors. Arab just means desert nomad. Arab is not an ethnicity. It's not a race and not an ethnicity. There really no such thing as race, but there's only clans with pedigrees and stuff. So, but and not pedigrees like as far as animals, but just different. What's the term I'm looking for? So clan, the term clan or family or race means, if you do the etymology, it means just family bloodline, if you really want to break it down. So clan also means family bloodline. So basically you were determined by your clan. It wasn't your race that you went by back in the day, your clan, who's your family. That's why you got the the Ottomans, which was the Uthman Empire. It was the Ottomans were come from the Uthmans. That was that family, and so on and so forth. You can do the whole breakdown. But this right here, when they say the first Arab Khazar war, this was the Moors, not Arabs. This is highly melanated Moors in 642 fighting the Khazars. They know this history. Check this out.
Inflicted heavy losses onto the Arabs, leaving brave armies motivated by intense fervor. Catapults and cavalry were utilized by both sides, but the Khazars, under Korapin Tarkhan, inflicted heavy losses onto the Arabs, leaving them to flee in absolute defeat. Soon after, well, soon being like a few years, but relatively soon, the Caliphate would suffer a civil war. You might have heard of it, the one that made them become the Umayyad Caliphate. Yeah, that one. Prevented any more Muslim raids for the Arabian. The city, though, had proven itself to be strategically inferior, and the capital was moved to Samander, and then later, Atil. Now I'm going to take the time to go into the government structure of the Cognate. Now, the civil and everyday affairs, as well as military campaigns, were controlled by the Khagan Bek, who was parallel to the shogun of Tokugawa, Japan. To assist the Bek, beneath him were subordinate officers known as Tarkans. Khazar armies were expected to never...
See, the Khazars know this history. This is in there. You can see this in their names. Who do you know with the last name Beck? That's famous. Glenn Beck, the owner of Blaze Entertainment. Glenn Beck, who was on Fox News. Tarkin. See this term, the Tarkin? He was let me go back and listen what they called the Tarkin.
Parallel to the shogun of Tokugawa, Japan. To assist the Bek, beneath him were subordinate officers known as Tarkans. Khazar armies were...
So he was an officer called the Tarkin. Anybody knows anything about Star Wars? What was the main general's name in the first Star Wars? The one who he had power over Darth Vader. He was superior to Darth Vader. What was his name? Not, you said Jeff Beck. No, Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck. But what was my man name in Star Wars? General Tarkin. General Tarkin. The Khazars are descendant. They said they're Turkish nomads, descended from Turkish nomad. The Turkish nomads they're descended from are the Scythians. They're called the Scythians. They lived at the foot of the steppes. Same as these Khazars. That's their ancestors. Turkish horse nomads, basically horse warrior nomads. So again, the Scythians. Where do you hear that word in Star Wars? Again, what is Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine? What are they? They're called Siths. So they know this history and they put it. I did a breakdown on this on Naga Nerds of Star Wars. So if you really want to understand the breakdown of all this, just go watch my episode of the Naga Nerds on Star Wars. But they know this history. The Sith is for Scythians, which is the ancestors of the Kazarians, the Khazars, the Turkish nomads that lived at the foot of the steppes. You don't know this shit. They keep putting this shit in in all of their movies. And because you don't know history, they're telling you history. You don't know that. You don't know any of this shit. Again, Tarkin was one of the Khazars' officers. They made him a general in Star Wars.
Were expected to never retreat and fight until the death. Otherwise, returning soldiers would be executed. The cognate, however, in a greater sense, was ruled by an absolute ruler, the Khagan, whom the Bek paid homage to. Upon being selected to be Khagan, the nobles would strangle him until he shouted out how many years he wanted to rule. After that period passed,
The Khagan, if you wanted to be Khagan, they would strangle you until you yelled out how many years you wanted to rule. And then after those years were up, they would kill your ass. They would kill you. After, like you say, 10 years, nigga, 10 years is up, baby.
he would be executed. Now, what is an emperor without his royal guards? Upon being selected to be Khagan, the nobles would strangle him until he shouted out how many years he wanted to rule. After that period passed, he would be executed. Now, what is an emperor without his royal guards? The Khagan was guarded peculiarly by...
Hey, how many of y'all yelling out 300 years? I'm telling you right now. Nigga, you choking me to, hey, 300 years. That's how long I want to rule, nigga. 300 years, nigga. If I'm still here after 300 years, you have my permission to take me out the game. But not one goddamn second less than me ruling for 300 years. You understand? Straight up. He said, infinity. I want to rule forever. I don't ever want to stop. Like, nigga, I'm gonna keep coming back. Oh, shit.
Muslim mercenaries from the region of Khwarezm. I mean, come on, how is that not cool? As the Khazars progressed through the 700s and 800s, they developed a very strong economy, taxing all transit coming from east and west that had to travel through Khazaria. This was, of course, the backbone of the Khazar economy, and their trade routes were heavily enforced. The year 700 marks the beginning of a 200-year period known as Pax Khazarica. The Khazars would found Kiev on the Dnieper River, using it as a trading outpost. However, this period would be interrupted as the Umayyad Caliphate under Caliph Yazid II expanded into Armenia in the southern Caucasus, threatening the Khazars, leading to the Second Arab-Khazar War. The Cognate, in response, sent a terrifyingly sized army of 30,000 troops and invaded Durban.
First off, they keep showing the pale Moors, Muslims. These are highly melanated Moors at that time.
In the southern Caucasus, threatening the Khazars, leading to the Second Arab-Khazar War. The Cognate, in response, sent a terrifyingly sized army of 30,000 troops and invaded Durban, crushing the local armies and raiding throughout the neighboring Islamic Emirates. In the year 724, Arab general Al-Jahar ibn Abdallah al-Hakim, in a long drawn-out battle, which saw intense bloodshed on both sides, managed to inflict a defeat on the Khazars, conquering Caucasian Iberia and founding the Emirate of Tbilisi. The Bek.
Caucasian, see? Caucasians come from the Caucasus, the Caucasus Mountains. So the true Caucasians would be the Kazarians, who you know as Jews.
Barjik sought vengeance for this devastating defeat. He conquered Azerbaijan city by city and took the head of a killed Arab general as a decoration for his throne. But this victory was short-lived, as in the year 737, Muslim general Marwan ibn Muhammad invaded deep into Khazaria, forcing the Khagan to surrender and pledge his nation under Sharia law and the allegiance of the Umayyad Caliphate. All had seemed lost for this mighty empire, but then a miracle occurred.
Curtis Neal, appreciate you, brother. Uncle Bootsy. Thank you for the Cash App. Everybody else who wants to hit the Cash App, appreciate you guys. Also, go to realnoggers.com and make sure you cop some merch, some gear. The real, excuse me, the Rapstrology t-shirts, and also the Great Book of Melanin Research. That is the way that you can truly support, but I love any way you do. All right, here we go.
That will return Pax Khazaria to the Caucasus and the Pontic Steppe. The Abbasid Revolution began in 744, leading to an inability for the Arabs to govern the steppes, leaving the Khagan to return to his full power. It is in this period that the Khazars did what they are known for. Well, I mean, if anybody knows them at all, that is. Yeah, that's right. Their conversion to Judaism. as a letter from the last Kagan to a rabbi in Cordoba would lead us to believe. It's called the Khazar Correspondence. It's one of the main historic documents we have to get information about the Khazars from. And what this Kagan states is that the conversion of Judaism took place in around the late 700s under the rule of Bulan Kagan. Bulan is
Bulan Kagan.
described as being a pretty cool guy, and he had several visitations from angels, leading him to seek the one true faith. Bulan would go on to expel the wizards and idol worshippers and the sorcerers, whatever wizards and sorcerers are. I mean, this is the English
These were the enlightened people using knowledge. Basically, Moorish knowledge. The Moors had the information. They were the ones with the higher knowledge, and it was considered sorcery and magic. And so anybody caught using that stuff was considered a sorcerer or a magician. So he kicked out all the people using knowledge, like medicine and stuff like that. That's what they considered sorcery and shit like that back then.
translation of what he said. I assume it was translated by Oxford University. I don't know what a wizard is, but, you know, whatever. Take that as you will. But anyway, so this gained the attention of the Byzantine Empire, or Eastern Roman Empire, and then the Abbasid Caliphate. And both of these empires were seeking to end Khazar raids on the border. To end it, they wanted to make the Khazars allies through conversion. Both empires sent religious missionaries, and Bulan agreed to hold a religious debate where he asked the Muslim Qadi and the Christian priest to argue with one another until they proved which religion is superior to him. After seeing neither arrive to any conclusion after excessive dispute, he asked the priest of the religion of the Israelites and the Muslims which is preferred. Of course, not wanting to agree with the Muslim Qadi, the priest told Bulan that the Israelites were a superior religion. Bulan then asked the Qadi of the religion of the Christians and the Israelite which is preferred. The Qadi, of course, not wanting to agree with the Christian priest, told Bulan that the Jews were preferred. Upon hearing these two responses, Bulan Kagan adopted Judaism as the religion of his state, circumcising himself and all of his nobles. Of course, likely, outside of the nobility, Khazaria would continue to be a very religiously diverse nation, with Jews, Christians, Muslims, and
So the real thing was it was more so the Christians and the Muslims were scrapping. And basically they were like, look, whose side you on? And then they were like, you got a problem with the Jew? They asked them, the Muslims, the Moors, you got a problem with Jews? And they were like, nah, not really. I mean, you know, they all right. And so then they asked the Christians, you got a problem with Jews? And they were like, nah, they cool. And they were like, all right, well, we'll be Jews. Because they were telling them, they were trying to force them to convert to either one, Judaism or Islam. And so they were like, we ain't doing either one. Y'all don't have a problem with either of the Jews? Well, we're going to be Jews. How about that?
pagans living together. It's worth noting that Judaism contains a mythical origin for the various Turkic tribes, and the Khazars took this tradition very dear. The mythical brother of Ashkenazi in the Torah, Tagamara, was said to be the father of all Turkic people, or if you will, the mythical origin for the various Turkic tribes, and the Khazars took this tradition very dear. The mythical brother of Ashkenazi in the Torah, Tagamara, was said to be the father of all Turkic people, or if you will, the Ataturk before Mustafa Kemal. He had several mythical sons who began each Turkic tribe. Kozar for the Khazars, Bulgar for the Bulgars, Avar for the Avars, Ugur for the Ugurs, Alan for the Alans, etc. You know, not very creative, but kind of neat, I guess. The demise of the Khazars was a slow and painful one, as their decline would come after a series of unfortunate events.
So I'll talk with this really in short so we can get to the next story. Their demise was by the Rus Kievs. So they started Kiev, but then the Rus, there was somebody called the Rus Kievs, which eventually became who? The Russians. The Rus Kievs is the one who took the people who took out the Kazarians. That's what they're about to show you here. And if I let it play out, the Russians, the Rus Kievs, are the ones who took out the Kazarians. So they holding a whole long ass grudge against the Russians. That's why they're trying to take out Russia. One of the reasons. Also, the other reason is because they're trying to start a one world order. And Putin kicked out the Kazarians. He kicked the banks out of Russia. So there's no Kazarian influence in Russia like that. There's a little, you know, they got rabbis and stuff like that as far as religion, but there's no banking control in in Russia by the Kazarians. That's why they hate him. They have no foothold. So not only do they not have a foothold in Russia where they could destroy it or overthrow it, excuse me, they also have a fucking 1,000-year grudge or 2,000-year grudge because the Ruskievs are the ones who took them out the game, who destroyed their empire. So that's why they want to destroy Russia, because Russia destroyed them. And if you think the people who are at the top of the game in the so-called Jewish pantheon or the Jewish rulership right now, if you think they don't understand and know who the hell they are, you're crazy. They absolutely know. So this is why we're getting all the bullshit with Russia right now, is because they want to destroy Russia like Russia destroyed their ancient empire. So moving along, your boy Trump, he plans to spend $500 million, $500 million to build a U.S. military base in Gaza. Remember, he said no troops on the ground. What happened to that? Your boy Trump is messing up, man. He is just fucking off his presidency. When he first came in, I mean, damn, it was so optimistic. If he had just did the shit he said he was gonna do, that nigga would have been off the game. He had the team. He had the legendary team he could have did it with. And because he got Israel's balls lodged in his throat, basically Netanyahu bitch. He got Netanyahu bitch's balls lodged in his throat. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do anything good for America. Not really. So $500 million of your money. if you are a taxpayer, it's $500 million of your money, taxpayer, which if you understand the game, you should not be paying taxes, income tax. Income tax is not lawful for them to charge you income tax. There's no law that requires you to pay income tax. But Mr. America First is about to build a military base on the border of Gaza, an American military base on the border of Gaza. Why? So America will be the military force keeping control over Gaza. Well, how did America become responsible for Gaza? How? Because it was Americans' money that was buying bombs to blow that whole place up. It was literally American, not buying bombs, but it was American bombs, period. Those 2,000-pound bombs that they were dropping, those bunker busting bombs and all that type of stuff, it was all from America. So you break it, you buy it. So now America has to put a bunch of troops over in Gaza, which Trump lied and said he wasn't going to do that. But now that the war is over, they're not in war. That's going to be his excuse. We're not in war. So they're not going over there to fight. Oh, what are they going over there for then? They're going to keep the peace. They're going to keep the peace between it. Yeah, right. Are they going to stop Israel from shooting Palestinians? Because if you're saying that, then yeah. If they're going to stop Israelis from shooting Palestinians, then great. But other than that, you full of shit. Yep, giving bombs straight up. And still giving them bombs. He says femininity calmed the diabolical more. Femininity calms it calms the savage beast every time. I'm trying to tell you, women trying to be all gangster and masculine, trying to fight with your man. That's not the way. I'm trying to tell you, femininity. He can't. That's the counterbalance. It cancels it out. It cancels out the masculinity. Boom. So, I'm trying to tell you. Oops. So moving along, the government shutdown is finally over. Snappocalypse was sort of avoided. Not really, but I mean, people kind of went crazy. If you saw the videos of people going in trying to steal shit, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. People was like, why are you not talking about the white people doing that? I was looking for videos. I talked about this last night on the Lawcast. Shout out to the people who viewed it, who tuned into Lawcast. Appreciate you. Make sure you tune in to Lawcast every other week, every other Friday. So the next one will be not this coming Friday, but what's the next Friday? What is the next Friday? Bam. So yesterday was the 14th. It'll be the next Lawcast will be on the 28th. So tune in on November 28th for the next Lawcast. But appreciate you guys showing up. That's where we pretty much talk about law and government and what's going on in America, so you can be informed and get off your butt and stop acting like you're not involved. You don't have to be involved in the system, in the game, in order to make something happen. Now, yeah, you can sit back and act like you some type of spiritual butterfly or wallfly and just think like stuff is just going to pass you by and everything going to be great for you. That's not going to happen. You're gods. You have to make your way. You are gods. You can't sit back and just let stuff happen to you. You have to make things happen. If you sit back and let stuff happen to you, then don't cry when you're not in control of the effect. When you're not happy with the effect. If you're not in control of the cause, don't be happy. Don't be tripping when you're not happy with the effect. So that's what we're doing on the Lawcast, trying to get you guys to understand. And this is what I broke down yesterday, that I'm not trying to get you to learn the law so you can follow the rules like a good little soldier or a good little citizen. You need to learn the law, the rules to the game, so that you can bend it. I told you I'm a law bender, not a law breaker. I'm over the law, around the law, under the law. If there's a hole, go through the law, but I don't break it. Origami that bitch. I'll twist the law up like a like an origami horse, but don't break it. So moving along, like I said, Snotpocalypse has been shut down, and the Caucasian, or the people who are on it, there was a lot of backlash going against the melanated people because we make up about 13% of the population. Yo, Darius Foster, thank you for the cash out, brother. Appreciate you. Put down on some chicken shawarma. But so we're getting more of the backlash from the snap. There was nobody who was getting more publicity. Melanated people were the face of Snappocalypse. I mean, even though I showed a chart many times, I showed it last night, but I don't have it with me. I don't have it queued up today, but I showed a chart many times of how the people who are receiving Snap, this was 46% Afghan, 40-something, 42% Somalis, 39%. I mean, it was all illegal immigrants, not illegal immigrants, but immigrants, some of which were illegal immigrants. So, and that doesn't mean that most of Snap was that. That just means that most of those people who come to America, that percentage of people were on Snap. So basically, like of all the Afghanistan people who are in over here, of all the Afghanistan immigrants, 45% of Afghan immigrants are on Snap, and so on and so forth. Right. So so the numbers have to be, you have to put the number, use the numbers with context. So when they say that, you know, because then you go and do the numbers again, they show that Caucasian people or white people or so-called white people are on SNAP or food stamps more than anybody, right? More than anybody. The Republicans will tell you no, that's not true. But 37% of Caucasian people are on food stamps, being that there are 150 million Caucasian people, so roughly about 70 some odd million people are on food stamp. That's a lot, 70 million people. So you don't see the publicity on that though. 70 million Caucasian people, non-Hispanic whites. This is non-Hispanic whites, because white people or Hispanics are also legally identified as white as far as the census is concerned. So non-Hispanic whites make up 70 million people on food stamps, whereas melanated people, we make up about 2 to 3 million. But if you only have about 40 million people, 35 million people in America, 30 to 35 million people in America, 2 million, 2.5 million to 3 million people is a lot. That's a lot of people. Actually, that's actually more. I think it's actually more than that. Sorry, because it's 25%. So if you got 40, if you got say 45 million people in America, let's just say roughly, because it used to be the old number was about 45 million. It's dropped since then, but let's just go with the old number of 45 million. 45 million. Oops. 45 million. So that's roughly about, it's trying to say, damn. That's kind of a lot. That's about 8 to 10 million people. Actually, that's more than that. I thought it was. So the statistics I looked at was wrong. So 45 million people in America. If 25% of 45 million people are on food stamps, how many people is that? Somebody put it in the chat. I hate math. So put it in the chat. I'm a wordsmith. So put it in the chat. What is it? Around 8 to 10 million? Because the numbers said that it was only 2 to 3 million. However, if you do the statistics and do the percentage, if there's 45 million people in America, black people, melanated people, roughly around 35 to 40 million, and you got 25% of them on food stamps, that's about like what, 10 million people? 10 to 13? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of goddamn people, melanated people on food stamps. Now, you're not meant to rely on the government for the rest of your life. It's supposed to be just a booster, just an aid. But melanated people, not just melanated people, but anybody who's getting something for nothing, you get comfortable in that position. And then it becomes a detriment. Anything that's a positive for you can become a detriment if you use it too much. That's basically everything in moderation. So Snappocalypse is finally over. No one's getting checks yet. Nobody getting checks yet. But oh, hold on. Ooh, I just lost my. Nobody's getting checks, but who was responsible? Because who was really responsible for the shutdown? We got to break that down. Because it was a whole lot of fuckery going on about who was responsible for the shutdown. Why did it actually happen? The shutdown happened for a couple of reasons, but the main reasons were the EPSTEIN files. The Democrats, or not them, but the Republicans, they shut down the government a month and a half early so that they didn't have to vote on the EPSTEIN files. A month and a half early. Let me say this again. They shut it down 6 weeks early so they didn't have to vote on the EPSTEIN files. But then they can call people back in to vote on certain things if they need to. So when they were called back in to vote on the continuing resolution, meaning just the budget for the government, the Democrats said, well, we're not going to do that unless you add $1.5 trillion more back to the budget. They was like, what? And they hold up. Yeah, we want, since you trying to do this Epstein shit, we can all do that. So they tried to throw, well, we want you to put or extend the Obama subsidies to healthcare, meaning healthcare is it costs too damn much. Obamacare costs too damn much. So the government helped people pay for it. So that was going to expire. And the Democrats voted to have it expire so they could use it as a political football. So they're basically was trying to tie the Republicans' arm behind their back and say, yo, you got to vote for this. You got to vote for the subsidies to extend, or we just gonna shut the government down. Well, they were like, so basically they were like, cool, because we don't have to vote on the Epstein file, so fuck it. And so that's why the government was shut down for longer than ever, because the Republicans needed to look like they had the Democrats needed to look like they had a backbone, and the Republicans were trying to not do the Epstein thing. Because then you see, soon as the government starts, the Epstein files came out, just what I just showed you, and you saw what was in them. That's why they didn't want the government. That's why they didn't want the government back, because you just seen what was in those Epstein files when the government came back. So both of them are full of shit. I'm trying to tell you, both of them are full of shit. But does that mean you shouldn't vote? Not necessarily. I talked about this last night. Vote means to wish. So in the Constitution, it says elect, and it actually says qualified elector. So you want to be a qualified elector. But nationally, your vote nationally really doesn't matter. As far as federal government, it doesn't really matter. The federal government is controlled by a bunch of corporations and lobbyists. You're never going to really get that shit back. But locally, yes, you make a difference locally. Is that controlled by lobbyists and stuff too? But yeah, but it is. But you activists, as far as if you can be active as far as your local government, it's really more powerful than the local lobbyists. If you can gather a bunch of people together and get them and show force to your local government, way more powerful, especially as far as you can get them to all think and vote one way. So the national elections, more so controlled. Local elections, not necessarily so. And that's what controls your life. The ordinances, police officers smacking up on you and all of that is local. That's local stuff. So if you are in the system, if you choose to be in the system, now you don't necessarily have to be, but if you choose to be in the system, use the power. If you're going to be in it, just don't let them take your damn money and you do nothing. Tell them where you want your money to go. Because if you just sit back and just let them take your money, that's tacit consent, acquiescence. So you have to be active in telling them where you want your money to go. Otherwise, you get caught up in the karma if they use your money for fuck shit, like blowing up babies and all the rest of the other crap they do. So, yes, the Electoral College. Yes, so this is why, again, your vote means to wish. The etymology of the word vote means wish. So elect means choose. And so to be a qualified elector means you need to be informed of what you are choosing to be put in place. Why do I have an opinion or a vote on something if I don't know what the hell it is? Yo, Richard Burden, appreciate you. Thank you for the cash out, brother. Appreciate you, bro. He says, put the Great Book of Melanin Research on audio. Man, I don't know how to do that. I have no idea how to do that. I mean, tell me how to do it. I might do it. But so again, being, standing on the side like a wallflower, just sitting back, being super spiritual, being a damn spiritual to the point of detriment. I call it toxic spirituality. Because you can be too spiritual where you think just the government, the universe, as long as you just sit back and breathe and eat a bunch of leaves, that the universe is just going to take care of you. No, you are God. You make what happens in the universe happen. You do. So if you sit back on your ass and don't tell the universe to do anything for you, then you are just waiting for the repercussions of whatever everybody else is doing. You're waiting to be the effect of everyone else's cause. Don't do that. Get out there and be the cause of your own effect. That's the universal law. He says the average lobbyist makes over $400,000 a year. Yes. So the federal government is pretty much locked up. You ain't gonna do nothing about that. But your local governments, you can do a whole lot about that. Excuse me. Like I said, the government is back in effect, but with it being back in effect, Trump is just doing some bullshit. So moving along, Trump administration is trying to ban all THC products. Basically trying to turn back. So in 2018, they put a provision in the agricultural bill. There was like an agricultural bill where they said that they could up THC in and basically hemp products to 14%, whereas it was like I think 2.5-3% before. So basically, you can make products that get people fucked up. Basically, that's what that shit is. You can make sodas and candies and bakery goods and all that infused with weed and get people toe up. And people been making crazy money off of this shit. I mean, their businesses is going crazy. Now Trump wants to pull that back and say, no, you can't put THC in products anymore, or lower it back down to the old 3%. Like, nigga, trying to get fucked up tonight, nigga. What you? I'm trying to drink this drink to get fucked up, nigga. 3%. Now, just so you know, that's what weed used to be. That used to be the THC content in weed in the 70s. When everybody was smoking weed and all that type of stuff, when it didn't mess up your mind, you could just smoke a joint and still go on with the rest of your day and still handle your whole day. Nowadays, if you smoke this type of weed that they've engineered to have 22%, 25% THC, which is crazy, your ass is on your back for 3 days. So I think that's part of the reason, because people are engineering weed to have far more THC than it should have, and it's fucking people up, you know, far more than it would have naturally. So the bill has passed the Senate. It's going to the House. So if you don't want the THC taking out your weed, you better get on it and tell your congressperson, hell no, bitch, don't you vote on this bill, bitch. Otherwise, it might be a good thing to take the THC content down in the weed, because these kids, because it's freer to smoke today, more kids are smoking it. So for it to have that type of THC content in it is crazy. And you're really messing up little kids way earlier than it should have. Like when I was a kid, it didn't have that much THC in it. And then they were engineering it to have more THC. And that's when you got the chronic. That's when the chronic came out. They were engineering the weed to have more THC. And that's when the chronic bud came out. And so if y'all back in the day, y'all know chronic, when chronic came out in the late 80s, 90s, and even the chronic that we had in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, that was, man, you buy some of that and you hit that shit. That only had like, so remember the old weed, regular sativa, had like 3%. The chronic only had like 10%. That old, the chronic back in the 90s and shit like that, only had like 10% THC. Now they're doing 25%. I saw one in a bud place one time, it had 28%. I was like, what the hell do you think people are supposed to do after they smoke this shit? Ain't nobody doing nothing after they smoke this. So, god damn. Like 28% THC? What? That's the hell to the no. We're gonna say no. You said, yeah, that's skunk weed. Yep, that's what they used to call it. Yep, skunk. That's skunk weed. We had all kind of names for it back in the day. The sticky icky. Ooh wee. Yep. Yep. And the sticky icky. Ooh wee. Put it in the air. Shout out to Snoop, the old Snoop, not Rainbow Snoop. That's the shout out to the gangster Snoop. I don't know who Rainbow Snoop is. Skittle Snoop. Snooples. we call the new Snoop Snooples. So, god damn it, Trump, stop messing with people weed, god damn it. But it might be a good thing, because the kids are really tripping off the weed nowadays. Yeah, the chocolate Thai, that had a high percent. That's what D'Angelo's song Brown Sugar was about. Chocolate Thai weed. Shout out to D'Angelo. God damn it, miss you, boy. Shout out D'Angelo. But Brown Sugar was about that chocolate Thai weed. That was some special shit if you can get it in the hood back in the day. That chocolate Thai, woo, boy. You get a chocolate Thai blunt. Hey, don't mess with me for the rest of the day. You understand? So moving along, Trump wants to give $2,000 rebate checks. Say what? Trump wants to give you, now remember, the stimulus checks happened when he was in office before. The stimulus checks happened. So the stimulus checks, it wasn't really Trump. I think it was when that happened, Trump actually didn't engineer the stimulus checks. I think it was like the Democrats who did that, and Trump just put his name on it, and everybody thought Trump gave him some stimulus checks. And everybody like, nigga, Trump my nigga, boy. You can stimulus me any day, Trump. My stimulus neezy. So people were going crazy with them stimulus checks, not doing what they should have been doing. I mean, holding stimulus checks, parties, and barbecues. Like It's the stimulus party right here, nigga. You got it's the stimulus check. Like we're like, what? Ain't you supposed to be paying rent and buying groceries with this? Yeah, I'm supposed to be. So here comes another stimulus extravaganza. Now, why is he doing this? Because the midterms, because the Republicans or the Republicans just lost crazy. They just lost like crazy in these last elections, even though it was all Democratic states. It doesn't matter. It was all Democratic elections. No, some Republicans got replaced in those states. Long-standing Republicans. They had those seats for a long time, and they got kicked out, and they lost them to Democrats. So they like, shit. We're gonna get our ass handed to us. We're gonna get diddied in the 2026 election. So they was like, we got to do something. Yo, was that 18-7 or 0187 Raven? Appreciate you, brother. Is that you, Corey? That looked like the homie Corey, but it says 0187 Raven. I'm guessing it might be Corey though. Appreciate you, brother. It says so long as it doesn't exceed 0.3%, it's okay. Yeah. That's what 0.3, not 3. Oh, so it's not 3%, it's 0.3%. Holy shit. I thought it was 3%. It's 0.3%. Are you sure, Corey? Are you sure it's 0.3, not 3%? Make sure, Corey, because I just saw the story. But I might be wrong. I could be wrong. Just saying, make sure that's why you always double check. But I tell you, because I just saw the story, but I could have heard it wrong. But so that's gonna be crazy, man. If they if he does that, it's not guaranteed. It hasn't gone to the House yet, or they're sending it. It passed the Senate, going to the House. So $2,000, man. People gonna go right to the goddamn and vote for every goddamn Republican. If they get $2,000 stimulus checks, they're gonna vote for every goddamn Republican in the game. You said 187 on the undercover. Corey, that's you, Corey. What you say? Buy some gold if you get the stimmy. Yes. Buy some gold if you get the stimmy. Everybody, gold has risen crazy just in the last year. I think it went over $4,000 an ounce. Shh, God damn. Now, back in the day, I tried to get a gold a group together, an investment group, a gold investment group together to buy gold, and people weren't really on it. The homies weren't really on it. They didn't understand. I'm trying to tell them this is back. Now, check this out. This was back when gold was $300 an ounce. $300 an ounce. I was telling everybody, let's invest $100 a month in gold. Now, if y'all want to do that again, I'll start a gold investment group with the people on my channel, and we can do that. We'll invest $100 in gold every month. If y'all want to do that, I'll tell you what, next week I'll put up the information where we can get together and we can talk about it. If y'all want to do a gold investment group, I'm down to do that again. But I did it when it was $300 an ounce and people invested in it for 2 months. Invested in it for 2 damn months. Now, me and my ex-girlfriend, we were still doing it. We made a nice grip off the gold back then. But I should have kept it. We sold it and made the money off of it. But if I had known gold was gonna go to 4 G's, God damn, man, I would have kept that shit. So I'll do it. So I'll see what's up. Make sure, and if you're interested, put it in the comments as well. If I see enough in the comments as well, also in the super chats, let me know. I'll go through the super chats in the comments, and then if I get enough people who want to do it, I'll start it up. We'll do an investment group. We'll invest every month in gold. And so, because it's some crazy stuff coming. But that $2,000 stimmy, I won't be able to get it. God damn it! But if you get that, hey, let's get that in the gold. So moving along, he also with the $2,000 stimmies, he's also trying to float 50-year mortgages. Trump is trying to float 50-year mortgages. Have you lost your damn mind? Now remember, the term mortgage means death pledge. The Latin term means death pledge. Who came up with the 30-year mortgage? That was Franklin D. Roosevelt, the worst goddamn president. People think he's the best president, but he started the administrative government. The reason you have all these administrations controlling your damn private life is because of Franklin Roosevelt. Now, having said that, should companies be regulated on some level? Yeah, so they don't take advantage of this of the consumer? Yeah, absolutely. But this nigga instituted what they call, again, the administrative government. This administration, that administration, this administration, that administration, administration for everybody. Like, goddamn, nigga, calm your ass down with the administration shit. And so with that came 30-year mortgage. You're going to pledge your goddamn life to where you're going to be walking around in a cane with a hump in your back before you able to enjoy this house debt-free. Trump was like, nigga, I can do one better. Fuck that shit. I can do one even better. 50-year mortgages, nigga. How about that? Everybody was like, what? The banks was like, oh, what'd you say, Trump? 50-year, will somebody go buy Trump some dinner? What you want, Trump? You want some McDonald's and a Diet Coke, my nigga? Hey, look here, nigga. A year's worth of McDonald's and Diet Coke for my nigga Trump. How about that? Shit, nigga, 50-year mortgages? Nigga, them fucking banks was like, shit, nigga, they was jumping and dancing, doing break dancing and shit, doing old school dances, the WAP, the Cabbage Patch, and they was doing all that old shit. Thank you, Trump. 50, get your ass locked into a 50-year mortgage. Now, you shouldn't be in real estate to live in the house anyway. Real estate should be used as investment tool. You buy the house, you build up some equity in it, go get a loan off the house, go buy another one, boom, boom, boom. Keep on doing that. You don't stay in the lease for 50 years. You use the house to get up enough money to go buy another crib, and then another crib, and then you take that income, and then you start paying off the crib way before 50 years. You just pay off the house within a few years. That's what you're supposed to do. So a 50-year mortgage to a person to a person who knows how to invest and knows how to break that stuff down, that's nothing. If a 30-year mortgage don't scare your ass, how the hell do a 50-year mortgage scare you? Shit, what's the difference between them two? You don't realize the difference between them two. So you should not do it if you are trying to live in your house. He said he's trying to do it to make housing more affordable for young people, which it'll only bring down like premiums, the rent for if you're going to get into a house for a young person. It'll only bring the rent down like $300. So like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, something like that goes for about $2,300 a month in, say, Houston or something like that, will go down to $2,000 a month if the mortgage goes to 50 years, which is nothing. $300. $300 less in rent if you're broke. That could do a little something, but that's not really doing anything. He says, yes, FDR put the debt on our back. Yep. Also Woodrow Wilson with the Federal Reserve creation. Yep. He sure did. It's great if you have the money. Yeah. But that's why you build up the money. It's called building up that equity. Building up that equity. You buy property value goes up very fast, very quickly. So you can buy some property and gain $100,000 on that property within a year to 2 years, depending on the market. So that's why you should not be in the house for 50 years. You should use it as an investment tool to buy more housing that you don't live in. You should not live in the house that you first buy, unless you have a bunch of houses that can pay off the house that you live in already. But you should not be living in the house, your only house that you own. And this is what rich people will tell you that all day. Don't ever live in the house that you first own. You rent that house out, and then you continue to still rent somewhere else until you build up the money. He says, what about rescinding what? Oh, reverse mortgages. No, this is why when you get into house stuff, though, this is why you're going to have to learn debt discharge, because the bank is not really loaning you any money for the house. So if you are able to prove or challenge the bank to say, what did you give me? I talked about this last night on the Lawcast. You're going to have to learn debt discharge in this coming future for the world, especially America, when the monetary system crashes. It's going to crash. They're working for it to crash so they can implement crypto. But when it crashes, what you going to do? Run around with a chicken with your head cut off, or you're going to be prepared. And to be prepared is the American system doesn't need money. Actually, the world system doesn't need money. The discharge is the money for the world. They discharge debt. And this is every bank around the world. So that if you learn how to debt discharge, you can do that for every banking system around the world. Negotiable instruments, secured transactions, discharging debt, promissory notes. These are the things that they use. They don't use money. Talked about this again last night. The bank doesn't have any money till you walk in and give it money. It's just an empty building till you walk in there and give it money. And then it's able to take that money that you gave it and loan it to somebody else. How the hell are you able to take my money and loan my money to somebody else? You're supposed to be loaning your money to somebody else. Oh, no. Hey, brother, this is my money. Once you brought that money in here, you don't know, but the fine print told you that you are giving that money over to me. And I have power of attorney over that money to do what the hell I want with that money. Like, wait a minute, what? Like, yeah, brother. And they basically just create money out of thin air, out of nothing. So look how they do it. You go in, you put $1,000 in the bank, and the bank takes $900 of that $1,000 and they loan it to somebody else. But that person doesn't take that $900 and put it under their bed or put it in their closet. They got to put it in the bank too, right? So they put that $900 in the bank. The bank keeps 10% of that and loans out 90% more of that. So what the bank keeps $90 of that $900 and loans out the rest. And then so on and so on and so forth. So they've taken that $100 and loaned it out till it gets down to basically nothing. Basically with no money. They create money out of nothing. So if you can go to the bank and make them prove that they gave you something tangible, or that, or you can prove that they didn't give you anything of tangibility, anything physically real, and they're trying to extract something physical and real back from you, then they're going to lose. Yo, Brandon Terry, thank you, brother, for the cash app. Thanks, everybody. Make sure you go to realknockers.com and hook up the gear. Hook it up. But yeah, realnoggins.com or rapstrology.com. Just go straight to the shirts. And appreciate you guys for your support. So back. So that's good information. Appreciate you, Flow Rider. Appreciate you. And what'd you say? Niggas backup plan is loot target. No, you want to learn again, master debt discharge. It is the way the whole money system works in the world, but especially America. And if you remember, House Joint Resolution 192, United States Code 31, Title 31, United States Code, Section 5118, debt discharge, United States, some Uniform Commercial Code 3603 talks about how if you pay a debt with a promissory note or which is an IOU, and the debt is refused, the debt is still discharged. It says it. So if someone refuses your payment, if you offer to pay, because there is no live money, no one can refuse anything, really. How you gonna refuse something? There is no actual money. They got rid of money, real money, gold and silver. So negotiable instruments is how they do things in America. And so in debt discharge through negotiable instruments. So if I offer you a payment and you say, no, I don't want it, then there's nothing really else I can give you of value, because this is what's valued in America, is this promissory note, which is a negotiable instrument. So either you take it, or if you don't take it, the debt is still discharged. It says that right in the law. So again, you got to go learn this stuff if you want to if you want to have an advantage in the future that's coming in America, in the world, really. But this will put you above the game, understanding negotiable instruments, debt discharge, secured party interest, all that type of stuff. Now, this is old UCC stuff, but it actually gets deeper than that. Yo, Terrell, appreciate you, brother. He says, what's good? What's a good way to buy gold and silver? I go through APMEX, 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 because they got Star Wars gold and silver. You know, just saying. Oh, they also got Marvel gold and silver. So, just saying, I don't like just the regular plain gold and silver. I like my gold and silver to look like something. So I got Mandalorian and Grogu on my gold and silver, or I got I got the good stuff. But they have a whole lot of novelty stuff like that. If you go to APMEX, it looks off the chain too. I get the Millennium Falcon. My Millennium Falcon coin is off the chain, goddammit. It's off the chain. Let me see. Think. Oh shit. Damn it. So my Millennium Falcon is in the safe somewhere. But this is, you can see that? This is Mandalorian. Mando. Let me see, pull it back up. There it is. You see Mando? Bam! That's a little dirty. Let me wipe the dirt off a little bit. There. So it's gonna there. Man, oops. There it is. Bam. So also got a Grogu. I got a Grogu one. So APMEX. They got Boba Fett too. I ain't got my Boba Fett. Ain't got Boba Fett yet. I'll go back in there and get that later. But yeah, APMEX is where I buy my stuff. It's off the chain. So yeah, don't go for the 50-year mortgage if you're going to live in the house. But if you're going to invest, invest all this. That's what you should use. It should have. 50-year mortgage should not change your idea about buying a house if you're using the house to invest. If you were using it as an investment tool, you should still be using the house as an investment tool. That should not change your mind at all. It's only changing people's mind who don't know anything about investing. What up, though? What'd you say? It's a dirty game. It sure is. But you got to get into it, though. Appreciate you. Wish I could show you my other ones, but they're locked up. All my other ones are locked up. Oh, there we go. We put it up there. There we go. Appmex.com. I also have an app. You can go to, you can buy all the stuff through the app also. So moving along. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Dick Cheney finally checked out. God damn, that was an evil motherfucker. That was America's Netanyahu bitch. Dick Cheney was really a dick. He was America's Netanyahu bitch. So he finally out of here. This motherfucker, he was so evil. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's hard to tell who was more evil between him and Netanyahu bitch. Cheney killed millions of people. I don't think Netanyahu bitch has gotten to millions yet. He's only in the hundreds of thousands. Excuse me, but he's engineered or he's manipulated America into killing millions of people. So I guess you could probably say that. It says gold, silver, and copper and great investments, even platinum if you can get catalytic converter. Yep. Yes, he was the real president. So Dick Cheney was the Secretary of Defense during the war, during the first Bush administration war. But remember, he was the former the president, CEO, chairman, I think, of Halliburton. The military company that goes and they supposedly rebuild countries after the military tears them up and shit. They're also or they also tear the countries down, but they build them back up. So he went and destroyed Iraq, and then Halliburton went in there and built it back up. Huh? How crazy is that? He went and killed all them people, destroyed all Iraq in the Iraq War, and then Halliburton, his supposedly former company, goes in there and gets the contract from America to go and build the place back up. Just a coincidence. Just a coincidence. That's all. He was Secretary of Defense. Then that was Daddy Bush. Then also he was part of the CIA back in the day in the 70s. Dick Cheney was in the CIA back in the 70s. So Dick Cheney and Daddy Bush was CIA head members back in the day. So then Daddy Bush became president. Dick Cheney became the head of the War Party, Department of Defense, now Department of War, and they just did a whole lot of fuckery. Iraq, Afghanistan, just a whole lot of fuckery, killing millions of people. So, like I said, but that was really for the neocons. That was part of the vision for the New American Century, something for the New American Century. I forgot the first part of the document, but something for the New American Century, which is the neocon doctrine of taking out all those countries in the Middle East, basically to expand Israel, New Kazarians. So Dick Cheney was a part of that group. And ding dong, the witch is dead. That nigga was evil as shit. The real man behind Baby Bush, after he was the head of Department of Defense, then became the vice president, which is really the president. Y'all have to go see that movie, the movie where Christian Bale played Dick Cheney. Y'all got to see that. I think the movie's called W. So go watch that movie, W. I think it's W, where Christian Bale played Dick. I think that's it. Or maybe it was a HBO TV show where Christian Bale played Dick Cheney. I forgot which one it was, but damn. he killed that role, and he showed how evil Dick Cheney ass was. It's goddamn. I mean, yeah, Iran Contra. Thank you. Sorry, forgot about that. Thank you, Broderick Enoch. Forgot about the Iran Contra. Goddamn. This evil ass motherfucker. Yeah, Halliburton be involved in oil also. Yep. The truck drivers make a lot. Man, thank you. Halliburton all over the place. Yeah, I knew some some dirty Dick Cheney did. Oh, wait a minute. I know some dirty Dick Cheney did, but I didn't know just how grimy he was till I was 18. I think till up 18. Just flat out a straight up dirty rotten. Yes, he was. Like I said, him and Netanyahu bitch are on the same. They come from the same evil pussy. Whoever they mama, whatever evil pussy they came from, that pussy don't know. That vagina need to be locked up. God damn. That came from the same devil, the same devil coochie. So just saying. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Moving along. In Skittle news, the Supreme Court, they punk out on the rule on and they basically punked out and they basically ruled that they weren't gonna decide on the gay marriage. They basically punked out on ruling about gay marriage. So they had a case before them on the docket that they could have chose to rule on. So here it goes. It says the Supreme Court declined on Monday to hear a case challenging the constitutional the constitutional right to same-sex marriage. The conservative-dominated court, as is customary, did not provide an explanation for its decision to reject the case. I'm gonna tell you why in a second. But Kim Davis, a former county clerk in Kentucky who refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples, had asked the court to overturn its landmark 2015 ruling legalizing gay marriage. And the Supreme Court said, hell to the no. The Supreme Court said, hell to the no. We ain't touching that shit with a 1,000-foot pole. Thank you. Like, fuck that shit. Why they not doing that? Because they know these emotional ass Democrats, if they rule like that, they know they would be allegedly somebody's gonna come after them. They did that with Brett Kavanaugh when they ruled against the Roe versus Wade. When they ruled against Roe versus Wade, they went and basically surrounded his house. And so either it was that decision for Roe versus Wade, but so they went and surrounded some of the Supreme Court people's houses after that decision. But somebody also tried to kill. They were going to try to kill Kavanaugh, Brett Kavanaugh. So they and they don't have any Secret Service. Supreme Court don't get Secret Service, so they rule on something and somebody get pissed at them, they can get taken out. So they fuck that shit, nigga. We not ruling on that shit, bitch. Sorry. We ain't about to do nothing. You just got to pay that $100,000 because she got fined $100,000 and 6 days in jail. They you just got to take that chick. You just gonna have to take that one for the team because ain't nobody up here about to put themselves in the crosshairs for your crazy ass. Fuck that shit. So it's a damn shame, Supreme Court. You punked out, man. You bitched out. But does anybody blame the Supreme Court? Does anybody in here blame the Supreme Court for punking out? The case was forgot. Didn't say right. So look up Kim Davis. The case was about Kim Davis, the Kim Davis case. And the case she wanted overturned was Obergefell, as the case is called, Obergefell. That was in 2015. that gave the right to gay marriage, but they're like, nah, we not touching that shit. We ain't touching that shit at all. It says, yes, their community will crash out. What? Crash out? Crash out? What? Melanated Browns is not with a 10-foot pole, not with a 1,000-foot pole. They ain't touching that. It says, not when cats can reach out and touch them literally. Seriously, they have no protection. So they have to be really careful about what they decide on, and if it's going to piss somebody off, and if that's going to put their life in danger, which is messed up. You should, if you take the job, you're supposed to take the job knowing that my decisions may piss off somebody and something might happen. But your conviction, you're supposed to be ruled by your convictions. You understand? Your principles. You're supposed to be ruled by your higher sense of character. But they say, fuck that shit. They say, hell no, motherfucker. That all sound good, bitch. Is that gonna block one of these bullets? You see Charlie Kirk, nigga? Charlie Kirk got everybody spooked. They was like, nigga, fuck that. We ain't seen that since Kennedy, nigga. Fuck that shit. We not ever doing we ain't ever doing that shit. So I understand, Supreme Court, why you didn't take up this case. No. Yeah. So don't necessarily blame them. He said they shook. Hell yeah, they shook. Everybody shook. All the politicians are shook. That shook all the politicians. Seriously, none of them want to talk back about Israel. Nobody want to say shit bad about Israel. This way, like, nigga. And it's funny how nobody want to say shit really bad about Israel, but Israel they weren't supposed to be involved. They had nothing to do with the shooting, right? Isn't that right? Israel had nothing to do with the shooting, right, guys? We all know this. Israel was not involved. And they're like, I'm just gonna not say nothing. Not gonna say nothing about Israel. Fuck that shit. He says, I knew they would. I knew they wouldn't. She still have to come off that. She still have to come off that Skrilla. Hey, yeah, 100 grand. 100 grand. She gotta come off with 100 grand, which is terrible, which is jacked up. So moving along, still in Skittle news. Remember the black chick, the melanated sister who looked like a dude? Basically, she like she called it. She looked like she was the part of the party, the group that she was trying to rage against. She got mad that she got kicked out of the Gold's Gym because of a dude walked in. Oh, excuse me, a trans woman walked in and she got kicked out. The girl, the what do you call it? The homemade girl, the homemade woman. You got homemade and artificial. So the homemade girl got kicked out the gym and got pissed off. So she sparked a whole backlash because I guess she had a bunch of followers. She was pretty known as a trainer or something, and so she sparked back this crazy backlash. She had like a few 100,000 followers on TikTok or Instagram. So it went viral. And goddamn, look at this. Hold on. Let me. So it went viral. She still didn't get, I don't think she still got any satisfaction, but then there was a California Democrat who was holding a forum. And basically he was one of the ones he's an advocate for the Transformers, and he's probably the biggest Transformer advocate that there is in Congress. And he just happens to be, to nobody's surprise, a representative of California. So check this out. And I'm so damn mad. How did California become the goddamn land of Fruitopia? The fuck, man? How the hell did California become Fruitopia? I'm so pissed about this shit. God damn. because of San Francisco. That was only in San Francisco. We didn't have that shit out here in LA like that. But let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Where? Oh, here it is. Now, this person, I want y'all to look at this person right here. This person calls themselves a man. They think they're masculine. You let me know if you see anything masculine about this man right here.
Like Hope Giselle said, trans women do not owe anyone femininity. And as
I mean, other than that person trying to mimic what masculinity is like. But what I mean is inherently inside this person. This person is trying to mimic a man.
As a queer masculine woman who would not be perceived feminine in a locker room with a shortcut when I have my do-rag going or whatever else, I understand that. And I also understand that because of that experience, because of who I am, that I'm going to get caught up sometimes, right? Like patriarchy has created misshapen perceptions of us to us, right? We're so busy trying to reaffirm the image of patriarchy that we find normal that we don't even care that we disposing of these people. We don't care that it doesn't cause us any harm to allow trans women to exist or to be fed and housed and all. It's like we want the world to look like what we know and understand and are comfortable with. And we need to just acknowledge the texture of that such that we can move in any other direction. Because everyone's fighting to be innocent or without transphobia instead of acknowledging that we're shaped in transphobia and need to say, like, I need to be able to address that. I know I'm shaped by transphobia. Let me always be aware of how that transphobia can show up and transform. What are my internal thoughts about trans people?
I might get canceled for this video, but I honestly don't give a fuck because y'all try to cancel me plenty times before and I'm still here, babe. But it's sad to say, as a woman, you can't speak on trans women without trans women thinking you're either transphobic or hating on them or want to be just like them or just jealous at the fact that they're dumb and you. When in true reality, it has nothing to do with that. There's a very thin line in that conversation where women just want to know the answer to this question. How, as a woman, am I supposed to feel safe in certain spaces, in women's spaces, when there's men who choose to identify as a woman, and I'm doing quotation marks, because they don't actually identify as women. They just want to get into women's spaces so they can see women. Because as a man, a woman probably wouldn't even give him the time of day. And if you don't know what I'm talking about the Tish Hyman situation at Gold's Gym that just passed.
Wait. So y'all continue our coverage of the viral story out of Los Angeles, California.
So we're just gonna skip. We don't need to listen we don't need to listen to his commentary.
You tell her story about
To a point.
what happened.
Alexis says you're the one fear-mongering, and I want to give you a chance to answer that.
I'm not fear-mongering. If you look it up, it's been posted by the New York Post that he beat his ex-wife, whose name is Alexis, by the way, to a point where she needed surgery, facial recognition surgery or something like this. You can read it up in the New York Post. I'm not fear-mongering. Transsexual men are men who believe that they are women and they deserve a place in the world. I'm just fighting for women's safety. It's not safe for men, transsexual men, biological women to be in the same changing facilities naked. And we all know why. Up until now, no one's been honest about it, and I'm being 100% honest. They're transsexuals, and it's nothing wrong with that. We have to give them a space to be safe, but women need to be safe and protected, prioritized. And there needs to be a lot of law changes that need to happen.
There is a law in California that says that their space must be protected. And you're talking about your space and your boundaries, Tish.
Their space is not the women's locker room.
Yeah, so you're saying that you heard that. Now, this woman is going to confront Democratic lawmaker out of California, Scott Wiener, right? Maybe his last name.
He says that old girl from Set It Off. You stupid, bro. Now, I'm just saying, that girl is calling herself masculine. But if that girl dressed up like a woman, she would look like a woman, like a real woman. So I'm like, but this one, you can see, that's what I'm saying. There's different levels to this, because this to me is a man. This one looks more just like a man. The other one did not look like a man. There's, she can call herself masculine, and she may feel that way, but she didn't look like a man. This motherfucker, this one looks like a man.
Name is pronounced Whiter. but I'm just gonna call it Wiener, right? So this guy is super duper woke.
They treat trans people as if they're not full human beings, as if they're just trying to scam their way into a space where they, according to these folks, shouldn't be. That the trans community struggles when day in and day out they have to listen to that kind of vile, dehumanizing rhetoric. Gas or any other really significant issue. Just he's completely obsessed in a toxic, destructive way with trans people, and they're literally trying to erase trans people's existence, including children, and they're threatening to incarcerate teachers who treat their trans students like full human beings, and so on and so forth. And so we in California, we need to stand up for our trans community and be very clear that if Donald Trump and his cronies are going to come for trans people, they're going to have to come for us. Right-wing nut jobs can attack me all they want, but LGBTQ kids do not deserve these attacks. We recently in the Senate passed incredibly important legislation to ban forced outing of trans and non-binary kids in our schools. And right-wing nut jobs like Riley Gaines and Libs of TikTok are now viciously attacking me for speaking out in favor of getting rid of these horrible forced outing policies. And let's be clear about what these policies are. School districts, even in California, are mandating that if a teacher learns that a kid is using different pronouns or dressing a certain way or wearing certain makeup or just identifying as trans or non-binary, requiring that teacher immediately call the kid's parents to tell them, which could lead to violence against that kid.
Violence? He's saying that you should not call the parent, to tell the parent that their kid is going through some mental shit. Is mentally being confused about their sexuality. You shouldn't tell the parent that. So the parent don't know what they're dealing with. They're dealing with a mental bomb in their house, but the parent doesn't need to know that they're dealing with a mental bomb, a ticking time bomb. That's ridiculous, man. Talking about the parent is going to bite, who's going to beat the kid for that? This is absolute bullshit. This is the rhetoric they use to push their agenda. The kids are going to die. The parents are going to beat on the kids. So we have to be there for them more than the parents. No, you are not their parent. You're with the kid goddamn 4 hours a day, 6 hours a day. Man, what is it, 6 hours a day? This is absolute nuts. So this dude is I think he probably, in his spare time, he probably got some high heels and he's probably getting cornholed at the crib. Cornholed at the crib. We need to make sure the Democrats are getting cornholed at the crib.
At home, which could lead to the kid being kicked out and becoming homeless. This is happening here in California. And I want to be very clear. The only person whose business it is, when, whether, how they come out to their parents, is that kid. It is none of anyone else's damn business. I spoke out against this, and these...
Well, that kid can buy their own food. That kid can pay their own rent. That kid can pay for their own health care. That kid can buy their own clothes. That kid can do all the rest of that. Okay, you understand? So if the kid get to do all that on their own, then the kid can do all the rest of the other shit. They can take care of themselves. But you ain't gonna tell me that I get to take care of you. I'm your slave, and I'm bound to take care of you, and I don't get to say anything that goes on in your life. Well, get the hell out of my goddamn crib then. Otherwise, I'm gonna be involved in your life. That's how that's going down. You tell me I'm just some type of goddamn slave that you came here and just fell into a slave, and I just got to do whatever the hell you say and pay for your life and take care of you, and you get to tell me what the fuck to do in my house? Oh, hell no.
Crazy right-wing trolls are now attacking me and threatening me, but that's okay. I'm a big boy. I'm an elected official. I can handle it. These kids do not deserve this demonization. We have to have their backs. We got to speak out against these forced outing policies.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this confrontation that is going viral.
Senator Winner, as the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in a woman's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah. So we want, everyone to be safe, and we also know that we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women.
Look at him stumbling and fumbling. He can't even answer the goddamn question. He can't even answer the question because he don't want to say the wrong thing. He walking around on eggshells, egg landmines. These ain't eggshells, these are egg landmines that he don't want to step on because he's so goddamn woke. First of all, look at the nigga socks. Let me tell you, them used to be back in the day, the Orgal socks. Now, I know you got some men in here like, nigga, you don't know shit about style. Nigga, them socks is so damn fly. Them socks is off the chain. You might be Fruitopian. I'm just saying. No, I'm just them socks, if you wearing socks like that, you might be a Fruitopian. I'm just saying. No, but fuck them socks. You know, I'm just saying, them socks are kind of a telltale sign of who homeboy is. If I look at this nigga and I say, first of all, the leg cross, that gives it away right there. No. Now, if you masculine, you should not be crossing your legs like that. I'm sorry, masculine dudes. Sorry to pull your card. If you crossing your legs like this, you a man, you better switch it up. Put that ankle on the knee. The ankle, this foot right here, goes on the knee right here to create a table for you to rest your arms on. That's the man. That's how you sit, man. You sit like that, you may not have nothing between your legs to make you uncomfortable to sit like that. I'm just saying, I can't sit like that and not be uncomfortable. So I don't know who can. So I'm saying. And then you wear socks like that. Hey, you done gave the whole that damn game away. Nigga, we know who you at. We know who you are. We know who you at. Just saying, bro. Not making any accusations or anything. YouTube.
And so, so if you're trans women or women.
Senator, you've done great things with the bills you passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman, I'm not transphobic, I'm not homophobic, and I do respect a lot of the things you've done, but I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children, and I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field, and I'm here to represent my community, because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills, and I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous, and we need your help, because you're in the office, you're going to go in the publicity spot, I want to support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now, and we want to know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, women, trans women are different things. Women, listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are
Right. You see how somebody tried to correct her? See? Somebody tried to correct her and say, trans women are women. And she's like, we ain't about to play that bullshit up in here, motherfucker. We ain't about to play that game. I'm talking about fresh off the factory. women from the factory. The natural factory. God's factory. That's what we talking about. We talking about grade A homegrown organic. We talk about organic, not GMO. That's what we got. Organic women and we got GMO women. That's the new term. That's the new term. We got organic women and GMO women. So here we go.
I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. Women, listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad.
Men are women. She said, they are men. Men are women. They are women. Trying to sit there and tell a woman with a vagina and a womb that a motherfucker without a vagina and a womb is just like her. Are you insane? That's what I'm saying. The whole world goes insane. It has to crash before it gets better. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. The imminent stock market and everything, all the crash is coming. All of this, it can't go anywhere. It has to crash before it gets better. All of this is going to reach your head and then boom. So get prepared. Get your shit ready, man. Make sure you got alternative funds, food, all the rest of that shit. Make sure you know how to discharge debt though. Also, I'm telling you, If you ever heard anything I ever tell you, make sure you go out and try to master debt discharge. When the banks try to crash the system and they want everybody they try to put everybody to zero, because when they crash the system, that's what they want you to go, to zero. Everybody go to zero. And if you haven't prepared for it, you're going to go to zero unless you know how to discharge debt. However, I digress. Getting back to this though, for them to sit up here and tell her again, an organic, to try to tell them that GMO women is the same as an organic woman, and lost their damn mind. And she going off.
A lesbian. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted. I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by men. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in.
She played the black card, y'all. She played the black card. Uh-oh. She got a whole bunch of white folks in there. They was coming after her. She had to pull the Uno, the draw for Uno. She had it in her back pocket like, oh, bitch, draw four, bitch. Don't be coming at me. She pulled out the draw for Uno on him and said, bitch, I'm black. I'm a black lesbian woman. Oh, snap. We got to pull it back. Oh shit, we can't come at her. She a black. Oh, we gonna get called racist.
I love the fact that she used the race card, bro. Which Infinity Stone or wokeness is more powerful, right? Because technically she got two. Well, she got three. My bad. Three. She got three. She got the black card. She got the lesbian card. She got the woman card, right? She got the same amount of Infinity Stones of wokeness as Chris Job here. And we already know Chris Job here. Fascinating card, right? How does that work? Who they gonna stick up for? Which minority group is more oppressed here? Okay, who should get priority?
But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian. And I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
I'm just telling you, since y'all want to woo.
No, just let's.
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's get this in without.
So now, because she stood up and told everybody, now see the white man about to come and try to take her out the room. You upset all the white people. Now you have to leave. She upset all the white folks with her rhetoric, everybody. She hurt somebody's feelings. Also, probably some Transformers in there. She hurt the Transformers' feelings. So she gotta leave.
I appreciate your point of view. I'm so sorry that you were
multiple times.
And I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women, and that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized.
Look at this. They keep acting like men who believe they women are more important than actual women. What the fuck are you doing, fool? Like you are an idiot. These are men. At the end of the day, they can protect themselves way better than any goddamn actual organic woman can. What are you doing?
This country, and we have to protect the safety of all women.
We have to protect women.
Yeah, but you gotta. Here's the thing: you can't thread this needle, my guy. You gotta pick one. Which Infinity Stone of wokeness is more powerful, right? Is her 3 Infinity Stones more powerful than the trans Infinity Stone? That you gotta choose, right? Because this guy is trying to basically he's trying to equal it out, but you can't equal it out because if you saw it with trans women and you say, hey, trans women are women and they can be in the locker room, then for people like her, right? She got 3 Infinity Stones of wokeness. She don't like that, right? She feels like that Infinity Stone of wokeness is overpowering her 3. Okay, we gotta figure out again. What's more? Who's the biggest?
And it's so funny. He's talking about the Infinity Stones. So if you've seen Marvel, there was one Infinity Stone that was more powerful than the rest of them. It was called the Power Stone. That allowed Thanos to beat the shit out of the Hulk at the beginning of the movie. If you haven't seen it, sorry, I mean to ruin it for you, but Thanos beat the shit out of the Hulk because he had the Power Stone. So the Power Stone, you got all the other stones, but the Power Stone is the top stone. So is the trans Power Stone more important than the rest of them? Because I think the trans is the Power Stone. The trans one is the Power Stone. Just saying.
victim here, right? Is the trans infinity stone that powerful, right? Is it so powerful that it cancels out this woman's 3 infinity stones, right? I thought we were told that you're not supposed to question black women, right? You're supposed to listen to black women and respect black women. A black woman is talking, right? A black woman is talking to women's locker. A lot of women. So, again, this is fascinating. This is fascinating.
Not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But this things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And my name is Tish Hyman. You heard me, sister? All right. Don't let them use our blackness and our civil rights as a reason to pass weird laws for children to transform. It's wrong. My sister's in jail. She can't get free tampons herself, but she can get free transformation medication. Big Pharma is best.
She said, my sister's in jail. She can't get tampons. Wait. She can't get tampons, but she can get free surgery? Transformer surgery? But she can't get tampons. They'll turn her into a dude, but they won't give her tampons for being a woman. What kind of fuck shit is this?
All right. Don't let them use our blackness and our civil rights as a reason to pass weird laws for children to transform. It's wrong. My sister's in jail. She can't get free tampons herself, but she can get free transformation medication. Big Pharma is best. Tyler.
Yeah, Scott.
He said the gate's gone.
Well, let's talk about another uncomfortable moment. When we first started talking in 2008, when Aaron Peskin challenged you for...
Yeah, so you see that? You heard that. Now, I think...
So, goddamn, y'all. Where is this coming to at the end of the day? Where is it supposed to come to at the end of the day? Where's the woke wars? I call these woke wars. Where are the woke wars going to go? Who's going to win the woke wars? Again, you got all these damn groups, all these identities. Who is going to take the identity trophy in woke wars? Put your bets down now. Put them down now. Taking bets. We're going to close the bet system after about 30 minutes. Get your bets in now. The trans stone seems to be the most powerful stone at the moment. The trans infinity stone is the power stone. So he says that the Girl Scout from that movie Dodgeball, who got the team disqualified for using male hormones. Oh, that was funny. That thumbnail. Oh, for sure. Oh, that thumbnail's hilarious. Appreciate it. All right, so moving along. In the science and the weird, they say Neanderthals never have truly went out of extinction, a study claims. Now, if you've been watching some Caucasian people, some of these Caucasian people, you know, they still got some caveman in them. Excuse me. You can see it. What is the what's the TV show? Do y'all remember the TV show back in the day? Captain Caveman. How many of y'all remember that? Am I the only one that remembers Captain? Come on. Captain Caveman. That was my shit. But so it says scientists have long speculated what caused the downfall of the Neanderthal. But a new study suggests they never truly went extinct at all. Scientists in Italy, scientists in Italy and Switzerland claim the ancient group of archaic humans didn't experience a true extinction because their DNA exists in people today. Like I said, you look and you can see it. You can see it. Over as little as 10,000 years ago, our species, Homo sapiens, mated and produced offspring with Neanderthals as part of a gradual genetic assimilation. Our results highlight genetic admixture as a possible key mechanism driving their disappearance, say experts in a new paper. Neanderthal disappearance, rather than a true extinction, might be conceived as their result of genetic dilution. They were basically diluted out the game. Neanderthals, or Homo neander, and this is the technical term, Homo neanderthalini, Homo neanderthalinius, goddamn, Homo neanderthalinius, whatever the hell that word is, were a close human ancestor that lived in Europe and Western Asia from about 400,000 years to 40,000 years ago. The scientific community already knows Homo sapiens had sex with Neanderthals because DNA from Neanderthals has been found in the genomes of modern humans. In fact, most non-Africans today inherit 1 or 2% of their ancestry from Neanderthals. What was that again? Most non-Africans. Okay. Damn it. Have I been muted the whole time? Can y'all hear me? Or was I muted the whole damn time? Was I muted the whole time? Let me know if I was muted, because this damn mic was muted. I don't know if y'all could hear it. Y'all was still hearing me. Sound was good? All right. All right, perfect. So non-Africans. I was making sure y'all heard that. Non-Africans. Again, let me say that again, just in case the mic was muted. In fact, most non-Africans today inherit 1 to 2% of their ancestry from Neanderthals. Again, non-African. So, like I said, if you can see some of the cavemen and some of these people today. If you even watch how they act, some of them are very they're very savage in their, in the way they act. So in their disposition is very savage, like just in the way they think. Just the way they think. I mean, who could drop nuclear bombs on somebody and just be like, it's all good? Who could do that? I don't know many melanated people that can. I'm just saying. It might be some. I just don't know many melanated people who could drop a nuclear bomb and kill everybody in the city and be like, that was the shit. Caucasian man did it twice. Now, again, who was a Neanderthal? People from the Neander Valley. That's what they call people from the Neander Valley. But that was mostly Caucasian people around those levels. Just saying. So they still walking around today, and you can see it. Hey, what was the damn the commercial? That's why they did that commercial. What was the damn the Geico commercial with the damn with the caveman? And wasn't that like, that was huge? If y'all and that was about maybe 15, 20 years. Was that 20 years ago? That couldn't be like that. Was that 20 years ago? That was like huge. The caveman commercials was huge. And I'm saying like 20 years ago because I haven't watched TV in like 10 years. I haven't actually had a TV and watched commercials in 10 years. So I don't even, it has to be at least, was it Geico? It said Geico. The Geico, the Geico Neanderthal tubes. Oh, that's what it was. So easy, a caveman could do it. That was their whole, that shit ran for years. That shit ran for goddamn years. It's so easy, even a caveman can do it. Was it 2003? Oh my God, see? Shit. 23 years, was it 22 years ago? That's crazy. Coming up on 23 years. Damn, man. Shit just be moving, don't it? So moving along, and the science, still in the science and the weird, basically says women like to date funny men who are less attractive than them. A study confirms. Is that right? Is that true, lady? Because I wouldn't know, because I'm funny and nice. You know what I'm saying? No, no, I'm just kidding. But they like to date funny dudes who are ugly. Pete Davidson, basically. They like to date Pete Davidson. So it says they say the way a woman's heart excuse me, they say the way to a woman's heart is by making her laugh. And a new study suggests the age-old trope is true. Experts have discovered that women prefer to date funny men who are less attractive than them, while blokes, this is British, while blokes are men, basically, are more likely to punch above their weight. Meaning ugly dudes will always go for the super pretty chick, while the pretty chick will go for the ugly dude. Yo, appreciate you. Was that 50-year journey? Appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Most of the Neanderthals are trans today. Transanderdals. That's a great one. Hey, that's a great one. Transanderdals. We're gonna leave that up for a minute. Hey, that's a great one. But that's hilarious. It says, but so yeah, ugly dudes go after the pretty girl. Why? Because this is what I know most ugly dudes do. This is what I know most of. They'll only go for pretty girls. Why? Because it's a numbers game. If I only go for pretty girls, that means when I do hit, one of them gonna be pretty. And so if I go for pretty and ugly, then an ugly girl is probably gonna say yeah. Pretty girls may say no 9 out of 10 times, but that 10th one, she gonna be fine as hell because I only go after the pretty ones. See, that's the logic of an ugly dude. And see, when everybody else see him walking around with that pretty one, the other pretty ones are gonna say, oh snap, how the hell he get that pretty girl? He might got something, and then that draws more pretty girls. See, the ugly dude used the pretty girl's bait. Because they know when pretty girls see another dude with another pretty girl, they be like, oh snap, what he got? Y'all know it, ladies. If y'all ain't going, even if y'all ain't going to admit it, y'all see an ugly dude with a pretty ass girl, y'all be like, what the hell? What's up with him? And that pulls more chicks. So I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's what they do. But funny is a whole nother term. Everybody can't be funny. It's a very small percentage of the world who can make people laugh. That's kind of on a God level, a godly type of level, for you to make someone do something that they're not necessarily intending to do or they don't want to do. Especially if you can make somebody laugh who's mad. That's a godly type of thing. You're pulling energy out of them that they don't want to give you. So that's on another level to be funny, which is why comedians are revered. Back in the day, they had the court jester. The court jester was just the physical funny dude rolling around, but the court jester, he stayed around. The king would not kill him. He would not mess with, because the king needed to laugh every now and then. So the court jester, yeah, he was made to look like a punk ass bitch when he performed for the king in court, but everywhere else, don't you fuck with the court jester. That nigga had power. And the court jester was the dude. So you said wipe, yeah, thank you. Wipe your feet off before you get in here, or when you come in. Appreciate that. So it says it could explain some peculiar pairings, like the 9-month relationship between comedian Pete Davidson and socialite Kim Kardashian. And it goes to show that being the funny one in your friendship group really can make you hit with all the ladies. Excuse me. Researchers surveyed more than 1,200 heterosexual adults in the UK and asked them to consider 6 traits: wealth, beauty, ambition, humor, intelligence, and kindness. Participants were asked whether they would prefer to have the trait or for their partner to have it, and to indicate how big a gap between themselves and their significant other they were willing to indulge. The results revealed that men were willing to sacrifice their own attractiveness to have a good-looking partner, but wanted to be the funny and wealthy one in the relationship. Women, meanwhile, were completely opposite, preferring to be prettier and intelligent, but wanting a partner who could make them laugh and who could make more money and have more ambition than them. So the girls want to be prettier and smarter, but just want the dude to pay for every goddamn thing and entertain them. That's what I hear. The girl would just want somebody to pay for them and entertain them while they sit back and they run the whole show. Is that how it works, ladies? Is that what I just heard? Ladies want to run the whole show by being the smart one, being the pretty one, because usually the more attractive one has the leverage in the relationship, unless you're smarter, unless your consciousness level overshadows someone's looks, which that can happen. If you're really smart and conscious and higher vibration, absolutely. That looks won't have anything to do. It'll never compete with somebody who's on that level. Higher consciousness, higher vibration, wisdom, all that type of stuff, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, all of that will trump looks every time. However, what I'm hearing from you ladies is you want to have the leverage over the dude, because if he starts to fuck up, then you can tell him, well, I can go get somebody else. Then you also want to be the more intelligent one, to be able to plan and plot and scheme and plan. But then you want him to pay for every goddamn thing and entertain you. Okay. I see how it goes. I see how it goes, lady. She said, for sure. Oh, okay. Hey, go ahead. Show your damn show your damn soul, girl. Show everybody. She said, for sure. Let your soul hang. Let your spirit hang. She was like, for sure. She said, not me. I'm trying. Hold on. Which somebody said, not me. Hold on. Where'd that go? Not me. I'm not trying to run the household. Okay. Oh, okay. That wasn't you. That's not what you said. Okay. All right. I thought that was you, Melanated Brown. All right. I thought you were saying for sure. If you says, when is the checks coming? Actually, pretty soon. They're getting ready to sign that deal within the next week or so. And then you'll see what you'll see. Then they probably won't send the checks out though till next year though. So they're gonna sign the deal, they're gonna sign they're getting the bill ready and all that. He's gonna sign it, but it probably won't go out till right before that damn election. Right? It's supposed to give it out now. I think actually though they said they're gonna give it out within the first few months, I think, of next month. But if I was a betting person, I would say that they're gonna hold off until it gets close to the election so that people remember who gave you the checks, which Democrat or which part, not Democratic, but which a political party gave you the damn check. Remember, we gave you them $2,000 check. You remember that, right? When you go in that voting booth, you remember who gave you that damn stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? And I can stimulate you another way, but that's for another day. But you remember who gave you that stimulus check. You know what I'm saying? And then if you want other stimulation, you just get at me later. You know what I'm talking about? But right now, you remember that stimulus check, girl. That's all I'm saying. So, I mean, don't be fooled. Says the movie Catch Me If You Can is loosely based on my ex-wife. First off, that was a dope movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, directed by Steven Spielberg, dopest director of all time. He's Kazar's did some great stuff, goddammit. Just the new Kazarians over in New Kazaria, they just on some bullshit. So moving along, I'm saying you got to be funny, guys. You got to be funny. And reason, just going back real quick, just to touch on it. being funny, there was a myth that was saying that the reason why women are attracted to guys who are funny is because when you laugh from your diaphragm. And so a woman's diaphragm is next to her uterus. And so when she's laughing, it's like she gets stimulated internally. Laughter is a stimulant for women because of the diaphragm's position to the uterus. Now, is that true? I don't know. This is from some scientific stuff I read in the article back in the day. Is it true? I don't know. Read it in the article. Sounded like it was good from the doctors. I don't know. But you be the judge yourself. Again, I'm just saying that was the scientific reason that I found it was given. He said, hell to the no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. He said, she said, hell to the no. Y'all's job is tough. It says, for all the effeminate, non-emotional cats, that is, for sure. The hell to the no. So that might be a thing of why that happens. So if it is, you better go buy you a joke book, cats. You can go out and invest in some joke books, because I can attest, being funny, it gets you in every time. Just saying, being funny gets you in every time. So moving on. You say no, it's mental. You think it's mental, but the body is being stimulated. Again, according to this, what I read in the article, the body is being stimulated. You don't know that it's being stimulated because you're just laughing. But the diaphragm is stimulating you internally, the uterus. And you don't know, most people don't know that. Or most women don't know that. Yes, it's also mental too. It's definitely a mental aspect for sure. Because it shows the wit. If a guy is really funny, witty, shows that he's kind of intelligent. You gotta have some intelligence to kind of be funny. Or powers of observation at the very least. So moving along, still in the science and the weird. Bloody Mary. Y'all remember this when you was a kid? How the classic sleepover party game really can summon a ghost in your mirror. What? Wait a minute. What? Y'all remember that game, Bloody Mary, back in the day? And they changed it to Candyman for the movie. But when I was a kid, it was Bloody Mary. And you didn't say Bloody Mary 3 times. And boy, you close, and it was so funny. As some homies, we would do this in the bathroom. We would turn the light off. We go Bloody Mary, and then we'd pause. And then as a joke, one of us would say Bloody Mary again and run out of the bathroom and lock the other dude in the bathroom. And like the other dude in the bathroom, that shit was hilarious. But shout out to Bloody Mary, the game. Well, because I don't know how many of you guys got to the 3rd Bloody Mary. I didn't. This is because I used to watch a lot of scary movies and shit back in the day, so that shit had me. But then when I got out of it, out of being afraid of scary movies, I just didn't give a shit about the game. But that was some real. Now, Bloody Mary, where did it come from? Bloody Mary, who is Bloody Mary? Bloody Mary is Bloody Mary of England. Though she was the daughter of Henry VIII. So have you seen the Tudors? You ever see the Tudors show? That came on Showtime. That was dope. That was about Henry VIII. And what was her name? The chick that he was with. Damn, forgot her name. Damn, I forgot the chick's name. I think it starts with an M. But I showed them. And then the daughter was, and so Mary was the sister. Also, you can see this in the Queen Elizabeth movie. The movie Elizabeth with Kate Blanchett. So she became queen because Mary had died. Queen Mary died. But Mary, she was called Queen Mary because she would cut off everybody's head. She was crazy as shit. Like, she would hunt people down. She would cut. If she was pissed at you, you looked at her cross-eyed. Off with his head. That's where that shit came from. Off with his head. Mary would cut your head off at the drop of a dime. That bitch didn't crazy. She was crazy. So that's why they was like, Bloody Mary, that bitch crazy as shit. So that's where Bloody Mary came from. So then if you said it 3 times, apparently you would see a ghost in the mirror. Now, here's the story. If you do it right, the next thing you should see, the next thing you see should be a terrifying ghost emerging from the darkness, at least according to the rules of the game, of the classic party game. While Bloody Mary has terrified people for generations, psychologists now say there is more to this party trick than the overreactive imaginations of excited teenagers. And if you do, and if you do call on Bloody Mary this Halloween, this story came out before Halloween, you really might see something terrifying. Research has shown that looking at your own face in the dark, in the darkened mirror produces strange hallucinations and anomalous experiences in a vast majority of people. In one study, almost half of the participants saw fantastical and monstrous beings after looking into the mirror for 10 minutes. Scariest of all, scientists still aren't sure why these terrifying monsters and ghouls appear. So, if you want to see how this simple game can really summon a ghost, here's how to try it yourself. Bam. So basically just going in the mirror and doing Bloody Mary. Now, why do people probably see things in the mirror? Can you see a ghost in the mirror? It probably does pull up a ghost. A mirror can sometimes be a portal to another plane. Again, you're dealing with vibration, light, things of that nature. So when you turn the light off, but you're in a mirror that's supposed to reflect light, and ghosts are energy. Ghosts can be detected energetically. So when you're doing that in the mirror, are you opening a portal through the mirror for a ghost to be able to jump through, even just if it's for a second? Because remember, you're walking around with ghosts all day. Just if you didn't know, it's ghosts all around your house right now. Just if you didn't know, it's a ghost sitting in your lap right now. You can't get around it. They're everywhere. They're all over the goddamn place. There's some people who are still attached to this plane when they leave, and so they just float around until they burn out the desire for this plane, the physical plane. Then they move on. But so many of them still here. So if one is in your house and you do this little portal opening vibrational ritual, does this open up a portal within the mirror for a disembodied being to be able to just drop in for a second, be like, "What up, pimp?" Tap you on the shoulder, be like, "What up, player?" Come on through and give you a little tappy tap. Now, remember, they changed it to Candyman. So when the movie Candyman came out, I was like, man, this ain't scary. This is supposed to be Bloody Mary. I remember the game. Damn sure didn't say Bloody Mary's name 3 times. But Candyman, that was never a goddamn thing when I was a kid. So I don't know if that was the thing for you guys as a kid, but it was always Bloody Mary for me and the homies. And locking people in the room, in the bathroom with dark lights, with the lights turned off. People be scared as shit. Boy, that shit was so funny. Man, being a kid was great. When I used to terrorize me, goddamn. Me and the homies, we used to terrorize each other and everybody else. That shit was great. But just trying to see if it happens. And then come back and let me know in the comments what happened. I want to know. Go do it and then leave it in the comments what happened. So moving along, there's an app that lets you speak with deceased loved ones. Excuse me. or this is the, let me see the story because they don't use certain words in here. So let me read the article as it is. An app that lets you speak with deceased loved ones is branded demonic, dishonest, and dehumanizing. Former Disney star Colin Worthy has been blasted for his app that uses artificial intelligence to create avatars of dead loved ones. In a post on X, Mr. Worthy, 34, shared a disturbing advert for the app, writing, "What if the loved ones we've lost could, what if the loved ones we've lost could be part of our future?" Mr. Worthy, who shared a Des Wade, Mr. Worthy, who starred as Des Wade on the Disney Channel series Austin and Ally. If y'all know what that is, do y'all know what that is? If y'all know what that is, you might be a coon Cajun if you know what that is. But Austin and Ally added that his company, co-founded with Hollywood producer Russell Geiser, is building a living archive of humanity. The controversial advert shows a pregnant woman speaking to an AI recreation of her deceased mother through the app, which is titled 2Y or Two-Way. T is the number 2, WAI. I guess that's 2-way. Like Huawei. Okay, yeah, 2-way. Okay. The video then jumps forward in time, showing the grandmother reading a bedtime story to the unborn baby boy, talking to them as they return from school and discussing the birth of their own child. Finally, the video shows the woman making a short recording of her mother to create the digital avatar, as the slogan states, "With 2-way, 3 minutes can last forever." Social media users have been outraged by the concept, branding it objectively one of the most evil ideas imaginable. Many have found the consequences of this technology fundamentally appalling, with one commenter describing it as evil and demonic. What do you think? If you want your loved one, if your mom died or your pops died, your grandma, that one grandma you had that understood you, that loved you like nobody else, that made you cookies. I'll tell you right now, my great aunt, she was my grandmother's sister. Shout out to and this is my mother is named after her. So I used to call her, so her name is Erlene, but I couldn't pronounce Erlene when I was a kid. So I used to call her, Auntaline. That was her name, Auntaline, because I couldn't pronounce Aunt Erlene. So it was Auntaline. And every time, and she didn't have any kids. So my mother was like her kid. So we were like her grandkids. And every time I went over to Auntaline's house, Auntaline would make me those Pillsbury cookies. Those cookies you get from the store, the Pillsbury. And I thought she was making them herself, but them Pillsbury cookies was the best goddamn cookie. And she would cook them. She wouldn't cook them soft because I don't like soft cookies. I guess this is probably why I like crunchy cookies. She would cook them a little extra long, and they would become hard. And when you do that, the chocolate seeps into the dough, and it makes the dough really chocolatey. This is a little tip, a little hack in case you don't know that. If you cook the Pillsbury cookies a little bit longer, the chocolate chips kind of seep into the dough a little bit, so they make the dough a little chocolatey. Man, going over Annaline's house, boy, them goddamn cookies. Welcome to the goddamn boy. So would I want to see Annaline again? Hell no, because Annaline was mean as hell. My Annaline, she was an Aries, and she was mean as hell. You understand me? She called me 10 motherfuckers every day. I used to stay with her for a minute. And she used to call me 10 motherfuckers every day. Yeah, black motherfucker. What you doing? Oh man, this is actually how she sounded too. This is literally how she sounded. she would sound just like that. That's no exaggeration of her voice. Kevin, you black motherfucker. So, would I want to see my Aileen again? Hell no. Love you, Aileen. I love you, girl. But goddamn, she was a gangster. She was a man. My homeboy, when I was living with her, my homeboy came to the house to see me one day because we were supposed to go. We were supposed to go to. I think we were supposed to go to some event, and I was going out to get something, and I hadn't come back yet for the event. And so he came to the door and he knocks on the door and she answered the door. She said, yeah. He goes, is Kevin? And she said, he in here. Bam. She slammed the door in his face before he got is he here out. He said, is Kevin? No, he ain't here. Bam. And that nigga was like, nigga, I ain't never going over your house again. Nigga, your aunt crazy as hell. No, hold up. Did you say Austin and Allie? I watched with my daughter's kid. Oh! Are you a hidden coon Cajun? Are you a hidden coon Cajun, Roger Gross? Huh? Oh, brother. Say it ain't so. Roger Gross. No. I'm just messing with you, man. But yeah, my aunt was gangster. So no, I wouldn't want to see her back. But you guys let me know. Do you have some loved ones that have passed that you might want to get back? I love my Aileen, but Aileen was crazy. She was crazy as hell, boy. She let anybody could get it. Anybody. You understand? She was the meanest motherfucker you ever seen in your life. Mean as hell, boy. Motherfucking Aries. Crazy as hell. So, love you, but I hope you're having a great time wherever you are, Aileen. So, moving along. It's crazy, too. They doing that. I think this comes off the hologram thing that Tupac did. Remember that shit? That Tupac came back with the hologram and everybody want to relive their dead people. She was a cusser all day. Let me tell you, she would drink Jack Daniels. She would go buy Jack Daniels, or she would make me go buy some Jack Daniels for her. She'd buy the big ass bottle of Jack, not the little small. She'd buy the big ass, the big ass quart, that big ass motherfucking bottle of. She had that and some cold turkey. She would have that under the sink in the kitchen. She had a big ass bottle of Jack and a big ass bottle of cold turkey that she had sitting under the goddamn sink. And if she sipped on that, you don't want to be in the goddamn house. If my Aileen, if she come in the house, you come in the house and she's sipping on that little glass with no ice, with no ice in that bitch, she's swirling that motherfucker around. Hey, nigga, get out of Dodge. Get your butt out of Dodge. Boy, I'm trying to tell you. Let me tell you something. This is funny shit. So, this is funny shit. So I was living with my aunt. So it was me and my mom. It was me, my mom, and my sister. We had to live with my aunt for a little bit because we got kicked out of our apartment. So my aunt, I'm sleeping. So my aunt was crazy. Remember, I tell you she was crazy. So nobody really, you didn't really want to be around her. And so I was on the floor. I would watch TV in my mother's room on the floor until my aunt went to sleep, and then I would leave. So she got hit up. She got lit on that Jack one day. And so she came in the room and she saw me on the ground and she looked and she said, she looked at my mom. She said, you remember back when he was born? Remember? I told you he was retarded. Didn't I tell you that? Didn't I tell you he was retarded? See? And you didn't believe me. You didn't believe me. But I told you he was retarded. Now see? And now let me tell you, I'm on the floor. Right there. I'm laying on the fucking floor right there next to her. I'm like, I think, how old was I at this point? I think I was like 18, 19 at the time. 18 and 19. or I could have been 17, maybe 17 at the time. And so I'm on the floor where she's saying this shit, right standing over me, pointing to me, but talking to my mom, not looking at me. I told you he was retarded. And I'm right, she pointing at me down like that. I was like, oh, she a cold. I was like, oh, she's cold as hell, boy. I told you he was retarded. Didn't I tell you? I was like, oh, she full of shit, boy. That was my aunt, my Aries aunt. Aries is no joke. I'm trying to tell you. Aries is not a game. So moving along. Shout out to my Angeline. Angeline. Shout out to Angeline. Love them damn cookies, girl. Funny thing, though, it's funny, she talked crazy to me. Then she died and left me 2 houses. Go figure that shit. So she would talk shit, but we were the ones that she loved the most. Crazy as shit, right? So moving along, in nigga news, Kanye bitch ass bend the knee. Oh no, let me see if I can find it. I gotta show you. Oh man, this is terrible, guys. This is terrible. This is terrible, guys. Here we go. No, Kanye! No, Yeezy! Here we go. He's literally bowing, bending the knees. This wasn't hyperbolic. He's literally bending the knee. Or both knees.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and having taken them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself. So I wanted to come and take accountability. Sometimes people aren't that knowledgeable about the bipolar and the cause or what causes it and the way you act when you have this disease. So it's like if you left the house and you left your kid at the house and your kid went and messed up the kitchen and messed up the garage, messed up the living room. Now when you get back, it's your responsibility because that's your child. And that's the way I look at it. It's like I gotta go clean up the kitchen, I gotta clean up the living room, I gotta clean up the garage. Yeah, and it's a big deal for me as a man to come and take accountability for all the things that I've said. And I really just appreciate you embracing me with open arms and allowing me to make amends. And this is the beginning and the first steps and the first brick by brick to build back the strong walls.
Say in Yandut, Rabbi said the Judaism. The Judaism brought to the world a way for someone when he regret about something that he has done wrong. And the Jews live on this way of if someone did something wrong, he can regret and fix it. And the Rabbi is hugging you and hugging everybody. And God willing, and from now on, strong things and good things, and only good. You are a very good man.
Amen. That's the best, man. Fair, good.
No! No, Kanye! Oh, God damn it, Yeezy! God damn it, Bobby! Hold up, man. Hold up. What am I? Here we go. Oops. God damn it. Yeezy, he done bent both knees and ball gargled. God damn it. You matzo ball gargled. Now, remember, this whole shit started with him. Does anybody remember? All of this shit started with him. The whole Kazarian backlash started because of him. With his tweet And Dave Chappelle did the funniest joke on Saturday Night Live. Kanye West went to sleep, said, feeling a little sleepy, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on the Jews. Remember that shit? We were like, wait a minute, what the fuck? What the hell what's up with Kanye? What up with Yeezy? So he started this whole shit. Then even made a song, a dope song, I might add. All my niggas high. He said, all my niggas high. I'm like, hold up, nigga. So now what I think is happening is he sees what he started. He's seeing what he started. And he's like, I don't have to go as hard no more because Candace Owens is going hard in the paint. Tucker Carlson is going hard in the paint. Nick Fuentes is going hard in the paint. And everybody else surrounding them is going hard in the paint about New Kazarians. So I can look like I'm the good dude. I can be like, sorry, Israel, brother. I'm sorry, brother. My bad. Because he knows all the rest of them people behind him are smashing out against the Kazarians. So I don't got to do that no more. I can act like we good. We good. We good, Israel. And get his money back. Kanye want to get back. He want to get that B back on his name. He see Kim Kardashian is worth 2 B's now. He like, fuck this shit. He was worth a B before her. Now she got 2 B's? Oh, hell no. He like, fuck this shit. So Kanye got to get at least his 1 B back. So that's what I think. I think Kanye is basically ball gargling so he can get his money back because he doesn't have to go as hard right now because the backlash is so gangster against Israel, the New Kazarians right now. There's no coming back from it. He basically did what he started out to do, what he set out to do, is shine the spotlight on the Kazarians. But he didn't just shine the spotlight, he shined the whole sunlight on what they were doing. So everything is exposed. So now he can come back and look like the good guy. Oh, baby, I'm sorry, baby. Hey, Rabizi, Manizi. Come on, my Rabizi, Manizi. We all good. Shalom, brother. Like, ain't that how you say it? Shalom, brother. Hey, shalom alaikum. Is it shalom alaikum? That's how you say it, right? That's how you say it? Shalom alaikum, brother. Like, Kanye, I see what you're doing, nigga. I see it, Kanye. He said, I had to bend the knee to get all my money back. He says, Hasidic hairs. Hasidic hairs in his throat. Hasidic hairs in his throat. Yep. He says, well, now you done blew his cup. Oh, damn. My bad, Miss Jeannie. She said, you done blew his cover now. My bad, Yeezy. Sorry, brother. Hey, I'm wrong. I'm wrong, you guys. Kanye he really feels bad about what he did. He does. I see it in his eyes. I felt that in his soul as he was apologizing to the rabbi. Didn't you feel it when he hugged him? In the hug, I felt that he was being sincere. I felt the sincerity. I felt it. You guys are conspiracy theorists. I'm sorry. I was just throwing out, just a what if. But I truly believe that Kanye is sincere about his apology. He shows contrition. He's contrite. I believe you, Kanye. I believe in you, buddy. So, did that do it, Kanye? Did we back? We good, Kanye? Did they believe us? Because, God damn it, Yeezy. Now, moving along, still in the matzo ball gargling territory. Floyd Mayweather is another one. God damn. God damn it, Floyd. Did you see at the Republican, the Jewish Republican thing that I showed last week, where they were shitting on Tucker Carlson? I didn't show the part where they bought out Floyd Mayweather. I was like, what? wait a minute. Floyd Mayweather? Hold up. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all got to see this. Let's see. Floyd Mayweather. Oops. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what Floyd talking about. Here we go.
And like I said before, I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind.
Check out.
My bad. All right.
And like I said before, I'm not with you guys 10%, 50%. I will always be the voice for the people in Israel. I will always stand behind the country of Israel, the one and only Floyd Money Mayweather in Israel. I will always be here for you guys when you guys don't have a voice.
Can anybody tell me when Floyd has been a voice for the people in the hood, the community, when they didn't have a voice? Is he out here being an activist for the people in the hood? Israel. Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute, nigga. You always gonna be a voice when they don't have a voice. How the hell do they not have a voice? They own every goddamn media thing in the world. They own every goddamn media company in the world, but they don't have a voice. Come on, bro. Floyd got that bag. Floyd Money Mayweather. You know, they like, you know, my middle name is Money, right? Did the check clear? No, it didn't clear yet? Oh, wait, hey, nigga. When this thing go on, in about another 10 minutes, well, you got about another 10 minutes for this check to clear, my nigga. Or, not yet? Oh, whoa, you better hurry up, my nigga. You better hurry up. We got, 7 minutes. Is it clear? No, not, oh, boy, woo, we coming down to the wire. Y'all Kazarians, y'all niggas like to live dangerously, don't you? Got down to the last 2 minutes. The check clear? Oh, boy, woo, just in time. Then he comes out. Floyd Mayweather. And I told you guys, I'm just not here for you. 10%, 20%, 50%. Floyd Mayweather is here for you. 100%. I will always be an Israel voice. Like, nigga, say it with sincerity in your voice. Like, nigga, I can see the tears in your eyes. I can see the pain in your eyes, Floyd. I will always be a voice for Israel. A country that doesn't have a voice. Wait a minute. The whole country doesn't have a voice? Wait a minute. They're a country. The whole country doesn't. Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad. The whole country doesn't have a voice, guys. Mayweather has to be the voice for Israel. Mayweather don't know what he doing. That nigga lost. Yes. I'm sure they paid him handsomely to do that shit. I'm sure he said hell to the no. I'm sure they paid him handsomely. All these so-called celebs are bull. Yep. They went to straight up. Ka-ching! There you go. That's what Floyd heard. Did the check clear? That was what his homeboy told him when it was on the phone checking. Cha-ching! Israel is the greatest country that's ever lived. All right, Floyd. We see what's going on, bro. We see what you're doing, Floyd. You ball gargling son of a bitch. He's still the greatest fighter to me of all time. But You a ball gargling bitch, though. Hate to say it, Floyd. God damn it. So, last thing I got, police stop law lessons. I talked about this last night in the Lawcast about the myth that's going around. That's going around recently about white people being shot more than black people by police officers. So I wanted to look at some of these statistics to show what's real. So let me see. All right, so let's see this real quick. So showed this last night. So Floyd Mayweather a fight to box Netanyahu. Netanyahu bitch. So it shows here number of people shot to death by police in the United States from 2017 to 2024 by race. In each year, you can see that white people are shot more every year, excuse me, than so-called black people, right? So whites, 458 that year, 459, 424, 459, while black people stay around 200 in the 200s every year, right? And so in this year, we went almost to 250, while they went to 499. So, excuse me. So you have to watch the wordplay. Again, it says number of people shot, because they're going on by this because of all the backlash that was coming out with people getting shot. Like, Tamir Rice, Trayvon Martin, he didn't get shot. He did actually. He after beating up, but he didn't get shot by a police officer. But so just talking about the deaths, the shooting deaths that happened. Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, Alton Sterling, what was his name? Garner, what was his name? Oh man, Eric Garner, Mike Brown. So this cluster happened all within a very close couple years, maybe, because Mike Brown happened a couple years before a lot of the rest of those things. But it was happening within, like, it looked like we were just getting killed, shot, and just killed on a regular basis. So a melanated Harvard cat, I don't know if he's a professor, but he's from Harvard. He went and did the study and showed that black people are not shot. And we're talking about unarmed black people, right? Unarmed people are not shot as much as Caucasian people. And this is where this came out. And he did the study, like, he ran the numbers 3 times, and it showed that we weren't shot as much. Caucasian people were shot more. Now, again, wordplay. The word they're using is shot. Again, right here, shot. They're shot to death. So, but that's not really our main complaint. I mean, it is, but it wasn't our main complaint until then. Like, we get taken out. But being shot, we're talking about the harassment and brutalization that we receive from police officers. Now let's see what those statistics are. So we're just going to go to people detained by police officers, right? So in the US, white individuals account for the largest percentage of total arrests, about 69% in 2019, followed by black individuals at 27%. However, arrest rates and interactions with police are disproportionately higher for black and Hispanic individuals compared to their share of the population. For example, in 2018, study found black individuals were arrested at 5 times the rate of white individuals, even after accounting for demographics. Disparities are also evident in other police encounters, such as traffic stops, where black and Hispanic people are stopped at a higher rate than their population share. And Black individuals are more likely to be searched or arrested during those stops, according to studies from California and the Bureau of Justice Statistics. So 5 times more likely to be arrested than Caucasian people. So when they talk about, oh, you're not shot as much, but they're going to mess with us the most. We're going to get harassed and profiled the most. Nobody just wants to be out here just getting harassed and profiled just so you can say, well, they're not shooting you. Well, who gives what? They're not shooting you. Well, okay, well, let's look at that again too. Because they were talking, because one of the main things we were saying, all right, well, we get killed by police officers. They were like, no, police officers don't shoot Black people, because we said killed and they went to shoot. Right? We said killed, they went to shoot. So let's look at the other statistics. Now, and also from this demographic here, this statistic here, melanated people are the most acquitted. What, let me see. Most exonerated race. Look at this. Black Americans have the highest number of exonerations in the United States. While making up approximately 13.6% of the population, they account for over half of all exonerations, being 7 times more likely to be wrongfully convicted of serious crimes than white Americans. This disparity is particularly pronounced in drug crimes, sexual assault, or SA, and murder cases. So we're being detained and arrested the most, but let go because we're innocent the most, which means that most melanated people that are arrested are actually innocent. If over half are being exonerated, that means most of us that are arrested are innocent. And then you get the white people like more Black people are arrested than anybody in the world. No, but you don't talk about how most of those people are actually innocent, fool. What about that part? Most of the people who are getting arrested and detained are innocent. Melanated people. So let's go here again. Let's see another one. Because we did, again, our thing was you kill us more, and they turned it into, no, you don't get shot as much as white people. Okay, well, let's look at this. Black and Hispanic individuals are disproportionately assaulted or victimized by police compared to white individuals, both in fatal and non-fatal encounters. Non-fatal use of force. Black and Hispanic people are more than 50% more, Black and Hispanic people are more than 50% more likely to experience some form of force interactions with police compared to white people. In 2020, police were over 2.5 times more likely to use or threaten force against Black individuals, 5.5% of encounters, as they were against white individuals, 2.1% of encounters. So again, more encounters, more threats, and more likely to do so against Hispanic individuals, 3.4% of encounters, than white individuals. The share of Black Americans experiencing threats of non-fatal physical force during police encounters increased between 2018 and 2020. In non-fatal police shootings between 2015 and 2020, non-Hispanic Black people were disproportionately injured, comprising 29% of race-identified injured people. Okay. Again, disproportionately injured. Again, this is from them twisting your arm too high, breaking your arm when they're detaining you, stuff like that. Chicken winging you when they arrest you and pushing your arm up, dislocating your shoulder, all of those are normal injuries when they try to arrest people, melanated people especially. Now, let's get to fatal use of force. Fatal use of force. Black Americans are about 2.5 times more likely to be killed. See, not shot. See, when it's shot, it's Caucasians. But killed, oh shit, I just broke them. Sorry. when they're arresting you, they just happen to break you. when they arrest, oh shit, I broke them. My bad. 2.5 times more likely to be killed by police than white men. Between 2015 and 2024, the rate of fatal police shootings among Black Americans was 6.1 per million of the population per year, significantly higher than any other ethnicity. Again, Black Americans was 6.1 per million of the population per year, significantly higher than any other ethnicity. Unarmed Black males are 4 times more likely to be killed by a police officer compared to unarmed white males. While white people make up as little as 60% of the population, or make up a little over 60% of the population, they account for approximately 40 to 41% of fatal shootings. Black people constitute about 13.4% of the population, but account for 20 to 22% of the fatal shootings. And you can see Hispanics 1.2 times more likely than whites. So, all of that bullshit that white people get shot more by police officers is bullshit. We mean killed or harassed or beat. All of those are melanated people when that happens. Hispanic people, that also for them too, but they're more likely to be taken up by ICE. They're going to get harassed not right now at this point because of ICE walking up to you and asking you if you're an American citizen. That's what's happening with and then also some melanated people who look like they don't speak English. If you're a melanated person, you look like you don't speak English, you might get harassed by officers too doing that stuff. But on that, aside from that, just regular policing, we see what happens. we know what goes on. They try to tell us, oh, that shit ain't happening. That shit ain't going down. That's bullshit. Because some black Harvard professor went and did a study. Now we all supposed to believe him because he black, huh? Well, the nigger said it. You heard the nigger. The nigger, he's the one that you said it, didn't you, nigger? Come on, nigger. What aren't those stats real? Come on, see? Dealing with niggers. What the fuck, man? Why aren't your stats real? Goddamn, man. You want something done right yourself, you gotta get a white person to do it. I mean, the numbers look real, so we're just gonna go with that. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. We know what the real deal is. And we have tools at the Know Your Rights Foundation to help you.
Freedom isn't free, but it's something we can all carry with us every day. The Constitutional Rights Card is your pocket-sized reminder of the rights that protect you. It's not just a card, it's a shield against injustice. Knowing your rights is the first step in defending them. When you're armed with knowledge, you empower yourself and those around you. Imagine walking into any situation with confidence, knowing exactly what you're entitled to. This card is a tool for awareness, a way to stand firm in the face of adversity. Don't let ignorance be your downfall. Carry the Constitution and let it guide you in defending your rights. Order yours today at kyrf.org and take the first step toward true empowerment.
Take the first step. Get over there to kyrf.org, knowyourrightsfoundation.org. Somebody, I just read in here, somebody said, I don't know if I believe, I've been tripping on that 60% population. I don't know if I believe that. No, you shouldn't believe that. That's bullshit. Because when they say white people, they also mean MENA, people from the MENA groups. Middle East, North African. So, and also Hispanic people get classified as white. So you have a bunch of that's why they distinguish it between non-white Hispanics, because there are Hispanics who do classify themselves as white. Also Africans, also Muslims. So when they say white people, that's a demographic. That's just a legal designation. They don't mean actual pale people. Are 60% of America. You can see that when you roll around America, you see more melanated people than anything. So that's bullshit. But as far as the power structure for your status, as far as status claim is in the system, yeah, white is they're going to say white is right, white is might in the system, and so this is why a lot of people this is also why trans identity is accepted, but racial or being transsexual is accepted, but not being transracial. You see, there's a big thing with that. You can be transsexual, but not transracial. Why? Because melanated people would start identifying as white people, and that would fuck up the whole goddamn system. So absolutely no, you cannot be transracial, because we know white means that you get better resources in the system. So if we just start classifying as white on everything, that would fuck the whole system up. They wouldn't know who lives where and what is what. So no, you can't be transracial. You can be transsexual. Transracial, no, that just goes across the line. You're crossing the line, man. You're crossing it. Like, all right. We're getting close, man. We're getting close. Transsexual, yeah, we understand. There's a genuine philosophy and science for that. Scientific explanation. But for transracial, no, man. That's just loony. Ludicrous. Like, why is that ludicrous and loony and outrageous when saying transsexual is not? That's because they don't want you taking any power in the system by calling yourself white. That's what would happen. And that's what could happen if transracial was a thing. They would have to give up all power at that point. All of the lingo would have to change. Blacks are the most arrested people. What do you mean? I'm not black. See, everything would have to change within the system if you start identifying as white. So they can't do that shit. But they cannot make you identify as being black and whoop your ass and stick the popo on you at any point in time. So, in order for you to do that, you got to get up here and fight back.
Too many people walk through life carrying fear, not because they've done something wrong, but because no one ever told them they have rights. When you don't know the law, even ordinary life can feel like a risk. That's why we build Know Your Rights Foundation, a place where the law becomes clear, simple, and yours. Knowledge is your shield. The law is your defense. Start learning today at kyrf.org.
From the streets to the system, knowledge is power. This card, it's law. Qualified immunity only stands when officers act in good faith. McNally versus United States, 483 U.S. 350. Remember it. We know our rights. We know the system.
This is your way out. I'm telling you. If you don't understand, you have no choice in the future. You're going to have to up your game. People in the hood, in the system, melanated people, you have to up your game because they're coming for you. So the only way to do that is to be knowledgeable about the system that they're trying to use to oppress you, so that you can go around the rules. Again, we don't break laws. We law bend. You bend the law. You go around the law, over the law, under the law, through the law when you find the loophole, but you don't break the law. But you can't do any of that unless you know the law. So that's why we're over here teaching law. I'm teaching you this stuff not so you can be a good little soldier, a good little citizen, and follow the damn law. Hell no, fuck that shit. Take advantage of the system. This is what they do. They can do that because they write the laws and the rules and shit. So they know where all the loopholes are. You don't. You have to go learn it. But we're teaching you what the loopholes are. We're teaching you what your rights are so that you can go out there and assert the rights and assert your rights. And then bend the law, become law benders. And then while you do that, make sure you support your brother at Real Nagas. This is the way we support each other and help each other out. I come give you this knowledge and you support me over here at realnagas.com.
What if the real superpower was already inside you? The Great Book of Melanin Research reveals 130 years of scientific studies conducted by governments around the world on you. This isn't fiction. It's real research on melanin uncovering its superconductive, photoconductive, cell-protective, and DNA shielding abilities. Yeah, they've known for over a century. Why don't you? Order now and get the exclusive Police Stop Law Package free. That's the Know Your Rights Manual, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notice and Card, Police Stop Flashcards Volume 1 and 2, the Public Official Bonds Book. Learn how to hold them personally accountable. This is power in your hands, biological and legal. They studied you. Now you study them. Click the link. Get the truth. Get protected. The Great Book of Melanin Research. It's time you knew what they know.
Boom. So make sure you go to realnagas.com. Go to the Naga Knowledge Shop and pick up the Great Book of Melanin Research. You get the whole police stop law package here. Know Your Rights Manual, Public Official Bonds Book, Constitutional Rights Card, Qualified Immunity Notices, and you get the police stop flashcards 1 and 2. So that is the way you support. Appreciate you guys. Also, make sure you get over there, realnagas.com. While you're in there, get over to the merch side of the website and copy you a Rapstrology t-shirt or hoodie right here. Get yourself in the game. This is the way we support. Bam. We got to support each other. Even though we see they let me back into the monetary program, which is not much because I need a lot of people following to get any traction on that. So again, appreciate you guys for supporting. Appreciate you guys for showing up on this rainy ass Saturn's Day. I'm out of here because I have not eaten all day. So I'm about to get out of here, get me some good grub. About to put some of these chicken shawarma donations to use. So appreciate you guys. Thank all the moderators for being in here, holding it down, cracking jokes, and keeping people honest. I'm out of here. Deuce.